It's funny that music is almost catchy, and then it always has some weird things in it that just make it creepy. All right, we're getting things set up here. Thank you for popping in, folks. Vendel, Malicious Sheep, When Wheel Willie dropping in. How's my audio doing? The phone that I run the Bits account with is not charged. I plugged it in this morning and the extension cord was unplugged, so I'm just going to be WX8BK tonight, I think.
You know what's just as fun as an unplugged extension cord is when you plug something into a wall, but it's an older house and it has like lamp switches on the wall, so like the plugs are like switch activated, you know, and then like but somebody else turns the switch off,
Right?
and you're like, well, I fucking plugged that in. What the? Oh, the switch is off at the wall.
Right. I don't know if
You know,
I.
because nobody has lamps anymore.
Right?
Because when you retrofit the house, you put overhead lighting in and you put lights in and you redo all that and then but you don't update you don't pull the switches out.
Don't pull the switches. Don't pull the switch. Boom. There's a switch in my house that doesn't do anything. And,
Oh, son of a bitch.
and I've. Are you okay, Willie? Or are you just upset about my
Well,
switch?
I think I'm okay, but I think my batteries died in my fucking induction heater. What's this thing
Oh.
called for my jobber? My smoke jobber?
Well, you better just.
My name that won't be named
That's
till
right.
they pay us.
The company's product whom we don't speak of anymore.
Yeah, that one. My
Oh,
batteries
dude.
just fucking exploded on me.
Well, you better plug it in. All right. I'm gonna drop us a track here, um, and we'll be back after this. I don't even think my iPad's charged now that I think about it. I just said that because it was in the same extension cord. So
Great. Are we gonna die like 20
no,
minutes into the space?
no. I'm using my regular phone is what we're running the space on, like I always do.
Okay.
It's okay. It's just a little bare bones. We're doing it acoustic tonight. It's acoustic. Oh, natural. All right, I'll play us a track. Be back here shortly. See you soon.
Sweet. Catch me smoking weed in the middle of the city. Nothing shitty, just some Zaza with me. Couple eyes peep the sticky. Know you smell me, know you hear me. I'm as loud as the horn on the semi. Smoke a half, then go get some food for my belly. Then I'm off to the lab. I got some tracks, I gotta rap. I've been holding shit back the way I never missed. You would think I'm holding a gap. Spray 16 straight off the dome and relax. While you've been looking, I've been moving. Got some O's in the bag. So fresh and so clean, like an Ozium blast. I'm the man behind the scenes. I just tell him to snap. And if you even in the scene, you were extra. That's facts. Miami nights out on the strip. Pulling up in the latest whips. Always flying the latest trips. Yeah. Miami nights. Miami nights. Yeah. Miami nights out on the strip. Pulling up in the latest whip. Yeah. Miami nights on the strip. Yeah. Yeah. Miami nights. Yeah. We fresh up off another flight again. Just came home from Tiki Island. It was straight up there. Wildin' there, we out here. Miami night in it. 305 and it. I'm bulling out on Callis Ave. I know some baddies wanna link right off Lincoln Ave. I got the click, I went aside. You know I'm smarter with the pie. You know, stir it up a big and messy. Watch it lie. I used to middleman to your land aside. Some up trap queen, show me how to dabble with the pots. Stir it to the right end, pull up, read up on the wide, leaning in your spot. You dig? Hey, we're never lacking at all. This fly shit is gon' glide, it ain't no option to fall. Sick in the wavy, my whole wanna deep dive. All inside of my drawers and screaming out it's free Willie season. Miami vibes got my taco meat, the chest off, no ring. Miami nights out on the strip. Pulling up in the latest whips. Always flying the latest trips, yeah.
And then there's the sound of a train horn, somebody yelling, "Train! All aboard! WX8BK, this is the Night Train." Opening track tonight was Miami Nights, Jay Byrne and One of One Neo up there doing that for you. Pinned it up to the top if anybody's interested in checking it out. It is up
You're
there.
just trying to make us feel jealous because we're not in Miami?
Well, I was just, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm already feeling it already. You know me, I've been talking about it every damn day just about, man, go to Miami.
I know you keep hitting me up. Man, got invites to this. Man, got invites to this.
Yeah.
Man, got invites to this. I'm like, I know, man.
I know.
if I checked my email, I'm sure they're in my email.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. True that. Yeah.
That is a waste paper basket.
Totally. Well, good evening, folks. Welcome to the Night Train broadcast. We are here every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Look it up. Check out when, and where it's happening in your time zone. My name is Bits. I'm one of your hosts this evening, and also with me running the train tonight, we got my number one main man, Mr. One Wheel Willie, down there. How you doing, Mr. One Wheel Willie?
Oh, hanging in there.
Hanging in there. Good. All right, good.
The hair department is like, hey, we got to book this and we got to do this, and there's appointments for this, and I'm like, well, right now, I've been asking you about this for a week. You got to wait till the show starts. Jeez Louise,
it's the HR department, man.
Some people. Like,
Willie's...
if you just used a calendar, you put it on your calendar, or if you just use a text message that has everything lined out in a text message, it will actually put it on my calendar for me. If I were to text you, show Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific time at said location, it will put all of that in a calendar event for you.
I was gonna say, and then that way when the event comes around and she talks to you about it, then you'll go, "Oh shit, what are you talking about?" And then you open up your phone and go, "Oh fuck, I never looked. I just never."
Oh no, I have to check my calendar every day.
Oh jeez.
But if it's not on my calendar, fuck you,
Willie. Willie has.
Like, if it's on my calendar, it's not getting done, and you're not being invited, or I'm not gonna talk to you about it.
Willie,
you got to book 10 minutes with me to talk about anything.
True that, or stay up late.
Yeah, after work hours is different, but
whoops.
During work hours, you better put it on my calendar if you want to talk about something.
Willie has been entertaining me with the intricacies and the niceties of marriage the last couple of days. It just cracks me up the way things work.
Oh, it's good.
That's good.
That's because it's brown liquor season,
It's what? Brown liquor?
It's brown liquor season.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. Tonight's guest that we'll be bringing up in just a little bit, we have AugursNFT, Henrique, I believe is how you say his name. Be joining us tonight to chat about the art and the journey. Yeah, and then this is the point in time where I usually say, oh, I collected this, I collected that, and I did that this week, but I have been basically null and void out of the Web3 world kind of this week altogether, period. And online, like my presence has begun. I've been working on printing lots of Christmas ornaments and other crap going on, and I haven't bought or done anything. Oh, wait a minute. Let me check my wallet. Maybe I did.
Well, it's a good thing that I finally checked my wallet and my Twitter and my Discord and my everything 5 minutes before the show just now, so that I have Web3 stuff to talk about.
Well, what you got going on? Fill me in. Fill us in.
I got nothing. It's just been 5 minutes. But my first check was I was looking at Skeletor's stuff to make sure that I didn't miss the drop I've been waiting for from him, and I have not. So I'm excited about that still.
I've realized I'm not following.
Yet, but he drops nice and slow. So he's got a ton of work that he's just sitting on. Like, it's all kind of planned out. It's nice slow drops. All right, I can enjoy that right now.
Cool, I like that.
Not feeling rushed or anything.
Skeletor is not on my
So,
radar. I think I'm not following Skeletor. It's pretty safe to say.
mostly in Discord. You got two different Discords, but
Oh yeah, I'm
you,
definitely not in doing any
you really
Discording.
only need to just be in the one if you're looking to follow
Definitely not in any Discords.
what's going on with this stuff. So got that going on. Then I'll post about some Wagyu Wine stuff in the Wagyu Wine Discord too. So some
Oh yeah,
bottle redemption opportunities for physical bottles
get
going on right now.
some
Uh,
vintage bottles,
yeah,
right? Some old bottles from all the
yeah.
drops. So that'll be pretty exciting. There's a lot of good bottles of wine in there. Never mind, they're all very good tasting bottles of wine, and they all have amazing artists that are featured on the labels. 100%. You got some old, you know, um, fucking, and of course all the names just completely elude me. You got your Proteon, um, you've got Chris Truman, as well as ANTN, um, Carla Ganis. Wow, why can't I just? I used to be able to name all those artists like off the top of my tongue, and it just kind of all collided in my head, and I can't remember. There's lots of amazing artists in there. No Paul Who Is a Ghost,
I think
but Paul Who Is a
I think
Ghost
that's
isn't in
most
memory.
of them.
Is it? Was it?
I think you actually just nailed most of them.
Oh, all right.
You
Well,
got most of them.
fuck.
Couple we can't mention anymore.
Fucking rights. Well, then, good for me then. All right. Bits is on the ball somewhere.
No, I think you pretty much nailed it almost.
Cool. Well, that Wagme wine, yeah, that's good. I'm definitely gonna have to cash in on some of that, and because I finished my last bottle about 3 weeks ago, I think 4 weeks ago, I had the last bottle that I had. It was a first edition white. Fantastic. That was the Chardonnay, I do believe. I think it was really good. It was tasty.
But I told you when that project started, I'll be the only one to have a complete vertical by the end. And I think I'm already the only one that has a complete vertical that has at least one edition of everything still
I bet you.
unopened.
I bet you there's at least two more that I could think of.
Okay, not counting Pokey Shaman or Chris Truman
Nope. Those were
because
neither
they're
of my
founders.
thoughts,
They
but
don't count.
there you go. But there you go. Yeah, no, I was trying to do that as well, and then I just got to the point where I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm gonna drink it, and that's what I did. That's what I did.
What
I
can I
don't.
say? I'm a collector. I collect things to collect.
Yeah. Well, the thing with those though, too, with me, I still got the labels. But the
True.
the thing with those bottles, the thing with those bottles of wine too, is that I don't typically buy bottles of wine in that at that price point, in that range. So for me, it was like, well, yeah, well, I'm gonna drink these because I got them, and they got them on a good deal, basically. And yeah, they're there. I'm gonna fucking drink them. It's like you walk into the kitchen. I look over there. I go, well, there's the water, or there's the wine rack.
I'm, I'm looking for a bottle of wine right now to open. Actually,
All right, good
what
stuff.
do I want to drink here?
Yeah.
Then I didn't bring
So yeah, I didn't do any
glass
collecting.
out.
Paul, who is a ghost, did a really beautiful drop on Thanksgiving to a lot of his fine collectors. Watching you, watching me. That was the last thing I got, and I just saw that here in my object. That was very nice. That made my day for American Thanksgiving. For us Canadians that are listening, it was just another Thursday. Well, not really,
I
because
have
it's a
I have not been into my wallet yet, so
oh,
that I did not see. I saw it in my Kukai, but not I haven't opened my
right.
wallet to actually see the piece.
Got that. Always appreciate a good Paul, who is a ghost, down there listening to us. We can't.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
I also saw like the curated on the front of Object today was like a bunch of horse pictures, like bunch of horse NFTs. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
It's all about the horses,
we
man.
are we bring horse trading mainstream?
Right? Damn straight. Bring it
I
to the
mean,
masses.
as
Bring it to the masses.
as mainstream as Object.
That's mainstream. A lot more people look at that in a day than the WX8BK main page.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Okay, that's a little extremes either end, but whatever. It's all good. Next week's show, Willie is off next week. I'll be around. I wasn't sure if I was thinking about just taking taking the day off, but no, I'll be here. I'm not too sure what the topic of chat will be, but we'll be here. I'll come up with something really great that we can all chat about and make Willie feel bad that he missed out on. But he's going to a retirement party for his uncle, or is it a going away party? I guess both.
Both. Yeah, it's
Okay.
actually both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's kind of already moved out to Texas, but was still working here in California, and so I mean, a lot of the rest of the family's here, but it's not like oh, we'll never see him again, but yeah,
Yeah, just
like we won't see too much of him.
Nope, I get that totally. So next week it'll just be me flying solo, and I'm sure some of you in here will be here, and we'll all be chatting about something. It'll be wonderful. In fact, we'll block Willie right out of it so that he can't even listen later. And then we'll talk about it on the Twitter. Fuck, it's weird. I'm just going through my wallet, with Texadelic. I've got him and his drops. It's weird when you find Texadelic stuff that you didn't even realize got dropped to you, and you're like, "What in the fuck is that?" And then you click, "Oh, it's Texadelic." Okay, interesting. Sorry, that just kind of popped into my head because I just saw a piece here that he sent me that I'm like, "Where the fuck? I've never seen this one."
And then you have to immediately carve out 5 minutes to read the description.
Yeah, which I'm not going to do right now because I'm sitting here, hosting a show. But I'll definitely do that after.
Oh, like you just now saw it.
Yeah, like literally just now scrolled down. I was like, oh, what the fuck is that? It's goddamn Texadelic. Hell yeah. It's a genuine, authentic, 100% Texadelic made Texadelic piece. That's what that is. So check it out after. Oh, my Lanta. It was given to me a little bit ago. Okay. All right. We'll check that out after. Cool. So, yeah, next week, that's what we'll be doing at 9 p.m. The train. We'll be just cruising around the train doing nothing. Maybe, maybe we'll run it off the tracks and drive it into the ground. I don't know. If nobody else is here, might happen.
Why not?
Might happen. Yeah, cool. So, yeah, I didn't have anything to talk about to begin with, and you were the one that brought up some really good stuff. You got anything else we need to touch base with? What else have you found out today about the old Web3?
That's it. That's all I got today.
All right, cool.
I feel like I'm getting back into the game though, because it's more than I had in the last month.
Cool, dude. Well,
combined. So
that's good, man. I mean, real life has to trump it. Has to trump us here at WX8BK and the web and the not so in your face real world. You need a roof. You need internet. So you got to do what you got to do, man.
I need to clean my garage out, make some space for my new toy. But
everybody has to always clean their garage out for lots of different reasons. In the wintertime, my goal is that my car has to be able to park and my vehicles have to be able to pull in. My car parks in there every night, and I have to be able to work on things. But during the summer, all bets are off, man. There's no way I'm pulling a freaking dirt bike in there, let alone a vehicle. But anyway. Well, right on. Well, I mean, maybe we could, yeah, I think it's about time we probably brought our guest of honor up, I guess, then. And Willie has nothing to say about that. Fuck you.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I don't.
Sorry, that was kind of a question. Yeah, okay. Pardon me. Bad hosting over here. What are you doing, Willie?
No, I think we're both just a little bit out of touch today.
That's all right.
I'm trying to find a goddamn wine glass and I can't, and I'm just like, I haven't gotten into a groove yet.
That is terrible. That's all right. We'll get her down. We'll get this. We'll shake it off. We got this. Maybe our guest can host for the rest of the night, and we'll just fucking we'll go away. It'll make it a better show.
At least give me another 5-10 minutes to find my groove here. I'll meet Stella.
Awesome. Well, our guest this evening, on Twitter, AugursNFT, Henrique Cartaxo, I don't know. We're going to find out very, very soon. Paul, who is a ghost, who is one of our talent booking gurus here at WX8BK. We have many people that work for us here at the WX8BK studios. It's all for free, but we have lots. And Paul has been wrangling up some guests for us. This is somebody that he directed us to, and I've been thoroughly impressed with what I've been checking out and seeing, so like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's have him on. So I'd like to welcome up to the stage, and now has a microphone there. Henrique, is that right, Henrique?
Hello. Uh, is my sound okay?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep. You sound pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all right.
Right
Thank
on.
you. Thank you for having me, Bits and Willie, and thank you, Paul, who is a ghost and introduced me to you guys. And my name, I think, is one of the most difficult Brazilian Portuguese names for foreigners to say for some reason, and it's Henrique Cartaxo.
Henrique
So,
Cartaxo?
yeah. Cartaxo.
I'll never get the Cartaxo.
Yeah. I've met Americans before, and no one can say it. From not only Americans, I mean people from all over the world. It's like the most difficult name in Portuguese, I think.
Well, it's definitely when you look at it like from an English point of view, when you look at it, it's definitely not. It doesn't sound like it looks. That's for sure. Oh wow. Okay. So what would you like us to call you? Augur? Is that what it is? Is that what now that we've heard your name, Augur, Augur NFT. How do you say that?
Yeah, it was supposed to be augurs, and I thought it meant something different when I picked it. Augurs I found out later, were ancient Roman priests who could read the sky and say, like, according to the movement of the birds or clouds or whatever, they could like tell the future or say if a certain military strategy was going to work or not, something like that. So, but I thought the augurs were the things that they were seeing and not the priests.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's kind of like omens. What I wanted it to be, right? Because I was going to make this like abstract art based on watching the sky. That was my initial idea when I came into the space. But then, of course, the work got a lot more realistic or based on reality and not so abstract. But then I kept the name, and then after a while, I decided to reveal my real name. It's not like a big reveal because nobody really knows who I am anyway. So, but yeah, I'm trying to change into my real name, but I don't know, because there's people who call me augurs already. So I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle of that.
Interesting. Okay. Cool.
I don't want to like reject the name augurs. You know, I like it too, and I have a certain affection for it now.
That's interesting. That's probably one of the most amazing name stories that I've heard so far. That was very in depth. It's interesting. Okay. So you wanted to be the omen, but you ended up that you're the priest, the future predicting priest. Okay.
Have you learned how to read the sky since then and tell the omens?
No, not really.
It's funny.
I'm not great at seeing the future. I would be like better at selling and stuff if I could do that. But I'm just like.
It definitely would have made for a much better response too. Not that it was bad. I was just like, I don't know.
If I knew in advance that you were going to ask that, I would prepare better.
Right.
It's funny because when we were,
you guys are very fast, and I'm not that fast at thinking. You know, I'm not even in my first language. I'm not that fast. You guys are too quick.
Oh no,
So,
that's okay. We'll slow it down. This is just because we're nervous too. So this will all slow down and we'll all be on the same level soon.
all
Um,
right. Don't
with
worry, don't worry.
with your with yeah, it's funny with your name that you said augurs because when
Yeah.
I initially looked at it, that's what I thought. But because up here in Canada, because we have a lot of French speaking, our second language,
Hmm.
uh, I, I automatically went to the French pronunciation of augur. I was like, no, that's how it has to be said. But no, and then you're like augurs, and I'm like, I was right to begin with. I can't believe it.
All right. But does it mean anything in French? I wouldn't
No,
know.
no, I see, and I did. I was googling it. I was trying because that's what I thought. I thought it did,
Uh,
but I guess it's some French made up word that I. But yeah, when I googled it, I came up with the what you initially thought it was like the what you know it as is with the priests and it and everything. So, oh well,
yeah.
maybe.
Well, and now I'm thinking of the English definition of like a giant drill that you use to drill into the dirt.
There you go. That's
You
what I
know,
was
like a
thinking.
like a like a large dirt excavating
A,
drill.
a fish auger for an ice auger for
Yeah,
drilling an ice fishing hole, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Which it might be spelled differently though.
Oh, you know what I think it was? Okay, now hang on. We're gonna talk to our guest here soon, but I'm gonna find Aguri. I think Aguri in congratulations. In Italian, it's Aguri is congratulations. So you just change that last. Okay, all right. That's what I thought it was. All right, I got it now. Now I know what I was thinking of and why I went that route. Okay. Anyways, um, so I guess that's an introduction to our guest.
Yeah, it was fun. It
We'll
was
never. What can we call you? What would you like us to call you?
fun.
Hey, you?
Yeah, my name is impossible, so you can go with Augurs or
Okay.
Hey You is fine.
All right, sure,
That's
fair enough.
that's cool.
We'll try and stay with
Oh, AU's gold.
AU is gold. Oh, there you go, and it's at the beginning of augurs. So hey, AU. Shit. All right, you're on it, Willie.
We're
Finally,
already getting off on some weird tangents today, aren't we?
I know it's very different. Cool. Um, so let's just start off how we kind of normally start. So you've given us a little bit of an introduction. Um, you live in Brazil, I believe. Yes.
Yes,
All right. Right on.
yes, it's São Paulo.
Sao Paulo. Okay. What time is it there? You're late. Late. Right now.
11:30
Oh goodness.
p.m. Uh, yeah, it's not late for like a rock and roll artist, but I am a parent of a 1 year old, so it's a bit late for me. But
Uh,
yeah, I'm having fun, and
awesome.
let's see how long I can
Yeah. No
can go.
worries.
But yeah,
Cool. We've had one other Brazil artist on. I can't remember who it was. Now I think about it, it'll come to you, or Willie will come up with it probably because he comes up with that stuff all the time. Um, well, thank you. Yes, and this is actually a rebooking for you because the initial time that you were supposed to be on, you fell very ill. I think on the 14th we were supposed to have you on, and you
yeah,
were not feeling
yeah.
well. And we're glad you're alive. We're glad you've survived.
I was really scared because I had an incredibly high fever that I had never experienced before. It was really intense, but then it went away just 2 days later, and never really explained why it happened. I didn't have anything other than the fever.
Well, it's the pure excitement of being on this show is what it is,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
I like that's
So we could say it put you into a fever pitch.
yeah, totally.
All right.
Absolutely. We're gonna have to put that on all of our business cards, Willie. Take
Hmm.
d- be,
New
day, we have to,
new catch line, new
yeah,
slogan.
or we'll have to put a
It'll
warning.
put you in a fever pitch.
Have to put yeah, or we'll have to put a warning on it too. This show will tend to make you break out in sweats. No, just kidding. um, so Augur, have you? We'll go back a little bit ways. Like when you were a kid, were you an artistic person? Were you always drawing and making things and doing things as a child, or was it something, whether
I
it
was
was
never very very crafty, like with my hands, and I even had a I failed arts class when I was in school, because they had you. like even either draw or craft something with sticks or stuff like that. And I was terrible at those things. But I was into music, so that was, I think, the first art form that I that I was okay at, and film. So I was like watching art house films a lot,
Right.
and then I went to study film when I finished high school. So yeah, is that a good answer?
Yes, absolutely, man. It's your answer, and that's the answer we're looking for. Totally, man. Totally.
Yeah,
So
it
with
is
the
the truth.
yeah, and that's exactly no, we don't need any grand fancy anything. I mean, that's life. That's what we're here to talk about is you
Yeah,
and how
yeah.
you've gotten here. So when you were into music in school, was it that you were into listening to music and stuff like that, or were you like in the school band playing trumpet, or
No,
what did you?
I was playing in a band, not rock and roll band. I
Oh,
was
really?
playing
Okay.
like Nirvana covers and stuff like that.
Oh,
And
awesome. So
yeah,
wait,
and then I went on to writing, songwriting, and uh, yeah, that kind of thing.
so did you
I had
play an
my own
instrument?
band, and I was the guitar.
Oh, nice.
Your sound is a bit
Oh, sorry.
it's cutting a little, so maybe if we speak at the same time, it's not so good. I think.
This is true.
What did you ask? I'm sorry.
I was gonna ask. No, I asked what instrument you played. You answered that.
Okay, yeah, I was playing the guitar and singing, and yeah, I had my band. I wrote some songs and stuff, and then I went on to studying film.
So,
Uh,
but I definitely want to talk about film before we do.
I didn't speak English then like I speak now, and I'm not even that great now. So it takes time to learn, you know. So, but a lot of people would write in English. But there is a strong rock and roll scene in where I grew up.
Okay. Yeah, just I've never spoken with anybody who's been in a band from another native language. So I'm like,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
that's
but
pretty
it's like
interesting.
that everywhere. It's like people write songs in English everywhere. I think.
Well, it's probably one of
I,
the.
I I did a couple. I wrote a couple of songs in English, uh, but yeah, mostly in Portuguese. Even
Okay.
even when they were rock and roll songs.
Where did you guys ever like actually record anything? Is there anything like on Spotify or anywhere that we would be
Uh,
able to check out?
Not from that band, but later I made a record, and it's on Spotify. And but then it's my own songs and me singing, and but it's not rock and roll anymore. It's like more Brazilian music. But that's like much later. It's what I made it in 2020. Yeah, it was released during the pandemic when we were all at home, and I never made a concert uh, off that record
Okay.
because it was released during the pandemic. But yeah, there is a record that you can check. You can search my name, Henrique, and you'll find it. I'm very proud of it. Yeah, I don't talk about it often.
Cool.
I'm very proud of it.
Oh, definitely gonna check that out.
I'll try to throw up a link here in a little bit if I can find it, and if that's all right with you.
Dope.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, sure. Do that.
And definitely, just to mention, augers, anything if you come across anything that you want to pin up to the top.
I mean, yeah, music came back after a while, but because I studied film and okay, here's the story. When I was in the university, it's actually media studies, and film was a part of it. But then there was this coding programming class with a something like processing, but much more basic. And I made something in that thing that was so uh, I don't want to brag about it, but it was so good that the teacher didn't believe that I made it. So, and then he gave me a very low grade and stuff, and I went away from coding and forgot about it for like 10 years until I entered the NFT space and I started coding again. And now, like, most of my work involved coding at some level. So teachers do that to you.
That's
Sometimes.
crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy because I mean, it really goes to show how
yeah,
much power a teacher has, right? Or an adult figure or a peer has. Like, a teacher can go, "No, fuck this. You didn't really do this," and
yeah.
totally turn you off. That's crazy.
Yeah, it really turned me off. I was having fun with coding and everything. So, but yeah, it was like it's very similar to the things I made when I started coding again. It's like colors shifting and geometry. Uh, so yeah, that went dormant for 10 years because I got so bummed by that low grade and his discredit that I didn't look
Wow.
at it again
Wow,
for
that's so wild. But
that long.
definitely glad
Yeah,
you came back around to it again. Um,
yeah, me too.
so once you finished high school, you went on and you got into studying film.
Yeah,
So that was through you.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was talking over you. But that's what Willie messaged me, and he's like, "Yeah, well, you won't have a problem talking if you don't try to talk over him." Just kidding. um, so you went on to
It's not what I said, but
no,
it's
no, he
funny.
didn't. No, he didn't. I'm just being a jerk. Um, so you went on to study film, and how did that play out?
Okay, so I I studied film and I started working as a film editor, which is what I still do for for a living. So I edit films, mostly documentaries. In Brazil has doesn't have the greatest tradition in narrative filmmaking, but documentaries here are very strong. Um, and I went to Prague for in the Czech Republic for a year, and there I met the Turkish film director, and I still work with him in feature films. It's like my work in fiction is 100% in Turkish cinema, not in Brazilian cinema. But yeah, I have like a best editor award in Turkey and everything. Spent some time there.
But
Uh,
you're back in Brazil now, though.
yeah, yeah. I'm working now on a Turkish film from home. Yeah. So
Well,
I
that's
love the work from home ability.
yeah, it's really nice. I was there in 2019 for 6 months working. It was like too much, too long to spend away from home.
right.
But
Well,
and I don't speak Turkish. I understand a little, and it's enough to edit the films. It's surprisingly easy to edit a film in a language that you don't understand. Somehow, I don't know how it happens, but I'm able to do it, and I don't even know how to
Is
explain.
it
Maybe
is
like
it because
the
is it because you're not as like tuned in into the dialogue, so you just are you editing more around the visual?
there's the visual, but there's breathing. I think is the most important part because you kind of notice uh, when an idea is finished in a sentence, even if they continue talking, like there is a way to know that okay, I can cut here, or I can go on and cut on the next uh, interval. But I kind of develop a sensitivity. Uh, is it sensitivity or sensibility? A way to feel that like when people are I don't know, but like this film I'm editing now, like they don't give me subtitles or anything, just the script in English. But there's a lot of improvisation, and I've just sent them a cut, and there isn't there a single mistake because of the language. Like, of course, the cut is not perfect. We're still going to work on it, but there's no mistake because of the language, and that's like really surprising to me. I thought there would be at least a couple, but there is none.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
You probably secretly deep in the back of your mind you probably understand Turkish. It just hasn't come forward yet. Uh,
I understand every time they mention food or drinks because
okay.
I was there for a while, and I learned to pick what I wanted from a menu and stuff. So every time they mention food or drinks, I know what they're saying.
Nailed it. Have you ever sent something back to them and then they come back to you and go, "What the fuck is this?" Like because you cut it off weird or anything? Does that happen?
I'm not sure I understand that.
Have you ever edited something for one of the Turkish movies and then had somebody come back and go, "What the hell did you send us? You cut it off at the wrong points." Like, have you ever made
No,
no?
never
Wow,
happened. Never happened. It's
that's
magical. I don't know how I do it, but there's I have other editor friends who edit for other countries, and it happens. It's somehow it works. It's
well,
not like a special talent that I have. It's like it is doable. It's just is.
huh? Maybe we're all gonna have to reach out and see if we can do this. Maybe we can all get jobs in other countries.
We
Not
just flood the market
just
as video editors,
yeah,
as movie editors.
yeah, right. I guess you still have to be talented in that kind of thing.
Yeah. I was gonna say that you have to know how to edit a film first.
Ah,
Yeah.
maybe.
And some of the movies I've seen recently, it seems a lot harder than what they're hiring. Because I've seen some poorly edited films lately. So
Hmm.
I think it's a lot harder than we think, Bits.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of patience and a lot of re like you make it once and twice and three times and four times, like many times, the same scene, the same bit until you get it right. Yeah,
Right.
it takes a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, and then like if you talk about like director's cuts movies, oh my God, they're the worst.
Yeah, that's why I started to make my own things because I was tired of directors ruining their own films, with with the little things that they wanted to keep.
Yeah, it's like you pay me to do a job, let me do my job.
Yeah,
Go direct
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
something.
kind of exaggerating,
I'm on your side here.
but yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
I was very constantly annoyed by it. And most of them they don't want to do the work of like watching every take, every like all the material and stuff. They just want to come when the work is done and ask for changes that make no sense or are not possible. It's very rare that I work with someone that I say, yeah, this guy knows what he's doing. Yeah, it's very rare. But yeah, there probably are some. Yeah, there probably are
Now,
some who very difficult.
how would something be not possible?
when they didn't shoot it in a way that would make that like this.
It would be like a very choppy cut or something, or like
Yeah, like sometimes there's like
okay,
cut. Now you should cut to the I don't know to a certain character. Uh,
and you're like, well, I don't have
while
a shot of that character.
yeah, you
Okay,
didn't make that shot, so yeah, I would have you were. I mean, you have a point, but there isn't a shot of that character at that moment.
gotcha.
Uh, I have a shot of that character on the other side of the room in another moment is not gonna, you know. But sometimes they imagine things that they didn't shoot, and they ask you to fix it. Fix it in post. You probably heard that, right? Fix it in
Yeah.
post. Let's fix it in post. Yeah, there's a lot of that. That's
Have you ever told them like you need to reshoot it and they reshoot it? Have you ever told them that? Like, is that a thing?
no, because editors are a lot cheaper than putting all the crew together in a set. So they will have me like do an extra week of work and try a million different things to fix a scene rather than reshoot it. But it's happened in documentaries that I've made suggestions like this would be nice to have, this would be nice to have, and they went and made it. Yeah.
Okay.
That must feel good.
I mean, now I feel like you're steering the actual narrative of the documentary, which makes it not a documentary anymore. But I guess Netflix started that.
No, Netflix did not start that, but that's a very long conversation. No, man, documentaries are enormous field and open to a lot of experimentation. It's I feel sometimes that it is much more artistic than fiction filmmaking, than narrative filmmaking, because you can do anything. Like most of my works in my NFT works, I consider them to be documentaries. My autobiographical works are documentaries, the way I see them. My Object One work is a documentary for sure. It's an essay documentary. There is something I've made to the. There's a Polish documentary that I'm very experimental. There's a lot of room for experimentation in documentary, and there's always been since the early days, like since 100 years ago. It's very big, very extensive field. Whereas narrative filmmaking is very strict. There's not as many things you can do in a narrative film that you can do in a documentary, I think.
That's very interesting. I'm kind of sitting here with my mouth open going, huh. I've never looked at it that way.
Yeah.
All right. So when you were back to when you were like in school and you were getting into the editing thing, and it's what you do in your real life now. So your art, when did you start creating your art that as we see it like now? Like did you start dabbling with that while you were in school, or did it happen after you were finished and out in the world?
I tried to send a post to the space. I don't know if you can put it up there. If it appears for you.
Cigarettes and
experience.
Oh yeah,
it's up at the top. Yeah. A couple in a room smoking cigarettes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is a documentary that I edit, and it's very, very experimental. It's borderline video art, and but it is a documentary because these are real people and they're filmed in their homes. It's 11 minutes long, so you're not going to watch it now, but yeah, it's available there in the short of the week website.
Is it in English or subtitled in English?
There's no dialogue. It's
okay.
They're from Poland.
It sounds like an episode of the Kardashians.
Okay.
There's no dialogue.
There's no dialogue. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't know, but yeah.
I'm just talking shit about the Kardashians.
Yeah. Okay. I understand.
I'm sorry. All right. I'm just trying to put jokes in. All right. I'm sorry.
Like I said,
off track here.
your jokes are very good. I'm just not that fast to like to build up on top of your joke. You know, like to make a
It's
joke
okay.
that completes your joke. You know, like you two are
Yeah.
very good at that. You're doing
No,
that in
I'm sorry.
a very high level, and
it's it's derailing you though. So I'm not trying
no,
to derail
it's
you.
I don't
yeah, don't worry.
I don't
You
pay any
that,
attention to the Kardashians, so that joke went way over my head.
yeah, yeah,
Fuck.
yeah.
That was the joke, Vince.
Yeah, I know.
Was that there is no dialogue
Yeah,
in the
I got it. I
All right.
Kardashians.
got it.
So yeah,
Okay, all right, back
I'm
on track.
sending you. Yeah. What I sent is like an example of a very experimental documentary that I edited, and I recommend you watch it later. But yeah, you were asking how I started to make my own things.
Yes.
So yeah, music has always been part of my life, and I made that record around 2019 and released it in 2020. Uh, so this was like the first thing I made as an author. It was that record that you can find on Spotify on my name. And then during the pandemic, we all had like a lot of time to sit around and wonder what to do and stuff. And I started to make a documentary of my own. It was an essay documentary, which is something I always liked very much. Um, it is a kind of documentary where you use like imagery from any source and you talk over the images. So you've probably seen something like that before. Um, it's usually with a sober voice. You maybe describing what the images are, but you kind of make a reflection about them. You know, so I always liked this kind of film very much. Maybe you've heard about there's a BBC guy who does that a lot. Uh, there's Chris Marquet, a French guy who's a very uh, maybe the highest.
Are you talking about a narrator?
It's a narrator, but it's not like a narrator, not like in nature documentaries.
Okay.
Not like that. It's more like it's more like an essay. There's more of a reflection to the thing, or self-reflection. It's more interesting the way I see it. So I always like to do that to watch those, and I started to make one of those of my own. I didn't know about NFTs back then. Still in 2021, I didn't. Uh, to tell you the truth, I didn't think the best things about NFTs before I joined. Uh, but yeah, so I made this film. It's a 20-minute film about an African Brazilian religion deity, like a saint. Uh, yeah, because I live in São Paulo now, but I'm from Bahia, and Bahia is like the like very stereotypical Brazilian tropical place, um, and there is a strong presence of African culture there, and African religion called Candomblé, which is sort of like voodoo, which you've probably heard of, and
Hmm.
there's this saint called Eshu, and I made this film about this this saint. So it went on to some film festivals, and I wanted to do it to do more. And I started making NFTs, thinking I was going to make abstractions, like looking at the sky. But I started to make those in here too, and yeah, and I'm happy I did. I'm in here. I make a kind of 2 minutes. At the most 6 minutes is my longest NFT films, but it always has that kind of vibe. It's a reflection that I make that on some images that I produce. Sometimes with code, sometimes from archive, and I talk something about them. I don't know
Right.
if you've seen if you've seen my work already, but
Yeah, yeah,
you
no,
would understand better what I'm talking about.
I've definitely been clicking through your work. I was going to say, so a lot of the coding, I haven't read the descriptions, a lot of them, I will be honest, which we all know is very important sometimes. But so I'm guessing a lot of the coding ones are the ones that are just like shapes and stuff like that. Is that fair enough, or do you mix the coding in with some of the images that you use as well? Do you do a mixture?
I do. Yeah, there is this collection object called anachronic, and this one is more about geometry and color.
Okay,
But
anachronic.
then from that same code, yeah, from the same core of code, I started to apply an algorithm to archive images of my own, like family photos and things from my own memories and from things I'm going through at the moment. Uh, like I talk a lot about my son in some of the videos about what life is at the moment, and I use code as it's kind of like a glitch operation, uh, and most of the time it's there to challenge photographic memory and act as a way to add meaning to as a signifier of this challenge of memory and of photography and video as memory devices. So I glitched the images through my algorithm to uh, well, it's a lot of things, but one of the things is that I want to bring attention to the memory itself and not to the video of the memory of the event. You know?
Okay. So pretty much
It's
what
something.
pretty much what you want, the story behind what the image is about. Yeah, I get it.
Yes,
I'm on it.
yeah. I
So
think
with your
you put it nice.
thank you. I stumbled upon that. It's usually Willie that makes that things nice, but um, so you were mentioning about like your stock, like the stock photos you use and stuff like that. Are the images always your own, or do you use images from other sources as well?
Uh, in this, there's this collection, live seascapes and shores.
Hmm.
Uh, in this one, the images are always my own. They are either from family albums or my own that I've shot myself. Uh, but yeah, in the other collections or standalone works, I use archive and I use AI even sometimes to when there's something I can't find, I would generate it with AI and run it to the code. Uh, but
That's
yeah, sometimes I like using archive too a lot. My object one is this one of one platform that object made, right?
mhm.
So and there are let me find it. I'm gonna
So your
I'm
code
trying
that
to
you run
find.
it through, um, is it a single piece of code, or do you write different code for different like pieces, or different code for different collections, or you just kind of like tweak the code a little bit every once in a while, or
There are different codes, but there is this one that I use a lot, which is the one that I for the live seascapes and shores series. I use it for some other things too. This code, what it does is I at first I wanted to represent the ocean because I'm from this tropical place, Bahia, and I've lived by the sea my whole life before I came to São Paulo. And São Paulo is landlocked. Uh, it's the biggest city with where there's the most work, and I came here for the university, but I don't have access to the sea constantly. So I wanted to make this about the sea and about my memories of the sea and stuff like that. So the code, uh, it creates kind of a wave that goes up and down the screen, and as it goes, it, the colors change. There's like a brush that goes up and down, and the colors change in a certain rhythm.
Okay.
And that's it. It's basically that. If I run the code with no image, it would just be a rainbow. You know, it'll be like a rainbow covering the screen. But I change it from time to time to see like what aspects of the archive image will be taken into account. Sometimes it's brightness or color or saturation, and I do some like calculations with those to achieve a certain look that I'm going for. It's easier to understand if you see the videos, because I'm not very good at explaining it. But yeah, and then there's also the TV. I have an old CRT TV. Sometimes I run things through the TV to achieve a certain look too.
Okay, I was actually going to ask you about that because I did notice some of those pieces. So how how does that work? How does that work that you run it through? Like, are you then capturing the video from an iPhone or another video source as you run it through the CRT TV?
Yeah, with the camera. Sometimes I would photograph each frame to achieve a higher resolution. Sometimes I would film the screen
Okay.
with my camera.
I
It's a DSLR normal camera, Canon Rebel.
I do see that it does say that here in the description of one of them, displayed on a CRT TV and digitally photographed. So then,
Yeah.
do you then like recrop out because it's like it's got a nice deep solid black around the outside, right? So do you then like recrop out like anything that's outside of the actual TV glass? Do you crop out the actual TV frame and all
Yeah,
that?
it depends on what I want to achieve, but I don't. I would not have like principles that I will not edit, or like it's not like that. I would whatever I want to achieve, I would do what it takes.
Yeah, I mean like the outside of the image, not
I just
not
film it. I film in complete darkness, and the screen
okay,
is so bright that the outsides they are black. When you see
okay.
the borders of the screen, it's usually because of that.
Oh, all right.
But
Yeah, that's what I was asking. No, that's cool.
yeah,
That's really cool. So how do you like? Did you remove one of the tubes or something? Like, how do you get the CRT to be so glitchy? Are you using magnets? Or without like giving away all your
no,
secrets?
I do I code it. I make the glitchy images with code.
And then you just project, or then you just run it through the CRT.
Yeah, and then
So
I just run it because I don't have analog glitch equipment. I would love to. I love the analog glitch artists in the scene, but I don't have the equipment. So what I do is I do it through code. I try to. It's not that I'm trying to emulate, but after I did it, I noticed it kind of looked like VHS glitch, and then or sometimes I just film from very very close,
Right.
so I get
so
that.
if
But
so if you ran a regular TV show through that CRT,
mhm.
it's got a regular original quality image. Basically, I guess is what I'm asking. Like,
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with the CRT. It's not
yeah, it's
glitched
kind
in
of
any way.
old. It's kind of old. I think the blue pixels are not as strong as the other ones, but
Just running it through that.
yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Just running it through that old.
Yeah,
Just running it through that older TV would definitely give it a bit of a
Oh,
different, a
for sure.
warmer
Yeah, for
vibe for
sure.
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. So something you might want to play around with. I don't know if but CRTs are very susceptible to magnets. So if you've got to just find the largest, most powerful magnet you can and put it up against the side, might give you some fun results you might want to play with.
Yeah,
You know, try
yeah,
that at your CRTs on this though.
yeah. I might break it forever, right? So, but yeah, it's probably gonna be fun.
I
I
remember.
should break it eventually. I should break it with a hammer someday and film it.
Oh, don't do that, man. They're they're uh
It's
they're a dying breed. They're hard to find, and like like original video game cabinet collectors, um, look for CRTs and pay big money for them all over the world.
But he could also make a great piece of art if he smashed it with a hammer.
yeah,
Well,
that's
I
true.
mean, I've never broken a TV with a magnet. I've you usually fun with magnets.
I muted myself there. I was going to say I do remember when I was younger. I remember screwing around with magnets on the side of the TV. And my parents were always like, "You're gonna wreck it." It never did, but boy, oh boy, I would have been scared if it had of. Especially because
Yeah,
I would have
those are
screwed
pretty temporary.
I would have screwed myself out of watching TV if I had a wrecked our TV. That would have been it. We wouldn't have gotten another one, that's for sure. But um,
Well, that's what I keep telling my kids today too. Like if they're messing around trying to throw something in the living room or something like that, I go, you break that TV, you don't get TV until you move out of this house. And I don't mean just this one. I mean all of
yeah, Dad'll be out in the Tesla watching TV while you kids have none.
them. Yeah, I'll, I'll take all the TVs away from you. I'll have all of them still, but you will not.
um, so Augers, when you got into the NFT thing, why have you only minted on Tezos? And why did you get into Tez?
I put some stuff up on OpenSea when I first got in because I didn't know anything, uh, and then I already deleted everything that I put there. But then I met the Tezos people, and they're just great people, and I felt a lot better in Tezos. I still didn't go back to try anything on. I mean, I had a drop on Nifty Gateway, which is an Ethereum platform, right? But it was a curated thing that I was invited to, and it's maybe the only thing I have on ETH now.
So if you
Yeah,
if you deleted your stuff from OpenSea, then obviously it didn't sell, right?
yeah, because it's not really minted there, so you can delete it. Yes, yeah, because I was like just going on in shield threads and posting my work and expecting something to happen, and of course, never anything happened. So I deleted it, and yeah, then I met Tezos people and friends, and yeah, I'm still here, and I love it. Yeah, I don't make a lot of money, but I love it.
but
So
you
you go ahead, Fitz.
no, I was gonna say, but you do create some pretty damn amazing art.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe if I tried, maybe I'm sure there's some things. There are some things that I made that would have done well on foundation or anything, but I'm never sure which before I do them. So this is more. There's more room for experimentation and for joy and
Mm.
fun of it.
I
It
feel like
feels it
it
feels
it's
better and it feels easier. It works. Like there's I don't know.
It's
I feel like Ethereum is very complicated platforms because I have this thing on Nifty that I bought one for myself and I don't know what to do with it because I can't sell it on Nifty because I'm not a verified seller and being from Brazil I'll never they won't let me be because I need a bank account in the US or in Europe and there they accept 200 megabytes files but I can't the the thing is in my wallet but I can't see it anywhere else. So that's very complicated. And in Tezos, you just see everything an object, or you can mint on Theia. It shows an object. It's very simple. It works. It's very decentralized. I don't see technically no reason to go elsewhere. It's just a better blockchain. It seems for me.
so just
I mean, yeah.
just so you do know, not trying to push you back to Ether or anything like that. Uh,
Uh-huh.
you can transfer out of your Nifty wallet into a standard ETH wallet, and then if it's a part of another, if it's part of
Yeah,
your
it's
collection
in
or
my
something,
wallet already, but I don't know what to do with it now.
it should
I
it
can't
should
see
sh-
it
it
anywhere
should
else.
show up in an OpenSea wallet. Then you know.
It shows, but the art doesn't show. The NFT is there. The token, but the work doesn't show because Nifty has a higher file size limitation than the others. So that the file that I
Gotcha,
minted, it doesn't show anywhere else, or I
gotcha.
don't know the place where it shows. So I mean that's complicated.
yeah.
I don't want that kind of a problem for my life. So I'll stay on Tezos for now. I think.
I love that. That was some good, positive, pro Tezos chat right there. I like that. That's a new. It's less
And
Tezos, the less complicated, Jane.
I'm sure malicious will yell at us about file sizes and stuff on between Taya and object and things like that too.
Yeah, on Theia you can mint up to 2 gigabytes now, so it's great for video
Oh,
artists.
there you go. You
Like,
stopped her from yelling at us. Thank you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If you're making video art, it's perfect. I mean, Foundation's 50 megabytes. So I wouldn't be able to make anything there, especially because of my work with coding. Uh, they're very precise to the pixel level. Like if I make a video with a camera and I want to mint it, I can compress it very much. But the video art that's based on code and it's very precise, the pixels are very small. If you compress it too much, you ruin it. So file size is important.
That's a big deal, especially with
Absolutely.
definitely with what you're doing, 100%.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff here, I've been sharing it where we broadcast on YouTube as well while we're doing this space, and I've been sharing some of it up there. It's just amazing. I wish I could have the audio playing as well while I'm sharing it, but these people will just have to go out and explore and find it for themselves. I hope.
Oh yeah, I hope to
Um,
do. Yeah, I hope to do.
what's
What did you show? Which one did you show? A comment.
I've been clicking around. Like I was in the every time you mentioned a collection, I was going into that collection. One of the ones that I stayed on for a little bit is the one with the seagull called Flyby,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
which I
All right.
thought it was just
Yeah,
awesome. And it's one of those. Definitely something with your pieces is, people need to go to them and stop and spend the time, right? Like because I mean that Flyby one, if you don't sit there and actually pay attention to the piece, then you're not going to see the bird fly across, right? Like you're just gonna
exactly.
oh
Exactly.
nice color lines. That's really a little glitchy, cool, all right. But yeah, like that is the one thing. Once I knew we were having you on the space, and I started clicking through and checking out a lot of your pieces, and that was what I noticed is that um, well actually number one, the first thing I noticed is that your pieces need to be on large screens. If I've preached this over and over again to a lot of people on this show is that if we are only experiencing these pieces on our phones, we're missing out. Like your pieces are definitely pieces that I feel need to be large and they need to be on big screens. They're so much more amazing. Um, and then the
Oh
other
yeah,
and then the other
I'm glad
yeah
you're
yeah.
saying
I
that.
wish I still had a CRT to put them on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the time and attention are. I mean, for these that the flyby and some of the ones that are more beauty pieces, like yeah, they're for sure better appreciated on full screen, and
uh, um,
the better screen you have, the better. Yeah, but there are some that you can. Yeah, like you said, it takes time. It takes time.
yeah, like I'm watching.
It's something I do like kind of on purpose. Is I reward the people who who stay. Because there's always something that comes later. It's kind of uh, it's kind of like a thank to. It's like how I create. Like I want to establish a certain situation and then challenge that situation with something else. It's kind of a dialectics kind of way of creating. There's always something and then something else to clash, and then some meaning will arise from those two things. Even if it's like in flyby, even if it's the beach and a bird, those two things together they create a third thing, uh, be it a feeling or a sensation, or you remember something, you know. So it's always like that.
uh, which is the point to the art for sure. I'm watching right now. I have Noise Lagoon up, which is a really neat piece as well. It's got
Yeah, this noises is a series I made on the late version, right? So there are 6 or 7, I think, videos called noises something. So yeah, in that one too, there is a something is established and then it is challenged, right? So it's more in this the noises videos are really more. I didn't think about them too much, but yeah, there is this dialectic thing. Uh, they are more a flow of consciousness, right? Right? Is that a thing? When you just let it flow and see what happens, like
yeah, I like
Yeah,
it.
more
absolutely.
comes from experimenting and
If it's
and
not
it's
if it's
high ISO noise. I film these things with the highest possible ISO in the camera, uh, in a dark setting like this. What you see in Noises Lagoon is it's actually very dark outside, so I film it with very high ISO and then I pull it up, make it very bright, and the noise will come. You know, so
oh,
that's what I was doing in this series, bringing up the noise.
very cool.
Yeah.
That's an interesting.
So
It's
it's kind of it's kind of a glitch technique, but it's very simple. It doesn't take a lot of equipment. You just film uh, in a wrong way, like in a wrong setting, and then you try to fix it in post, and it becomes noisy. Noise and glitch are like
it's
brothers.
it's so that's cool. Somebody's gonna make a cartoon of that now. Noise and Glitch, the two brothers.
Yeah.
It's very neat to it's very neat to be able to embrace creating something like that to play with those settings and to start creating a piece in a way of where somebody a normal person would just go, oh, I screwed it up, the settings are all messed up and wrong, but you've purposely gone out to fish out those qualities out of that, adjusting it, embracing
Yes, a friend of mine said that the noise was like looking at a fire. Like when you get lost looking at a fire. So it was like one of the best compliments I ever got. Yeah, from because yeah, the noise fascinates me, and it is like looking at a fire.
that's a good way to look at it. Because yes, it's very true. You sit there and you just stare at a fire, and you can get so lost in it. And these, as I have these pieces up in front of me, I'm getting very lost in it. I'm just listening to your voice, and I'm watching these pieces, and I'm just then going, oh shit, I got a microphone in front of me. I'm gonna have to say something. Um,
Yes.
Yeah, the seamless editing doesn't hurt at all either. With that getting lost in it, you just kind of go, oh, oh. And then if it's a shorter piece, all the ones that I've been seeing and been looking at, they loop back like a perfectly looped GIF. So
this "Take Me Where the Color Worms Fly" is the one that I just clicked on, and it's one that I just as I was saying that, it's like I could watch this one for a while.
Yeah, this one's that one was was for trash art something, a trash art event. Yeah, a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun making that one. Play it with the sound if you get the chance.
I shall do that. I will.
what was that scream in the background?
Augurs is killing people in the background.
And whose background was it?
That wasn't
It was
mine.
definitely further away. It was like in his. It was it was definitely like outside of his house.
Oh
But
wait,
concerning none the least.
wait. I'm gonna play this one with the audio right now.
Yeah, do it.
Holy fuck! I'm smiling from ear to ear. That was such an awesome treat. I love that.
Yeah, it was so much fun to make that. Yeah.
Was that you doing the singing?
Yeah, yeah. So my voice,
Oh,
several layers. Yeah.
that is brilliant. And it goes so well with the visual. Like it was just as soon as I pulled that audio up, I was like, "Oh my god, this just goes so well with the visual." Oh, it was
Yeah.
wonderful.
What piece was that again, Fitz?
Take Me Where the Color Worms Fly. It's in
Yeah,
the
yeah. It's like out of the a point out of the curve, right? Because my work is usually very serious. I think I try to like be not that I try to be, but it's kind of going deep into my own feelings and or or into like daily facts and. But in this one, I had a lot of fun. It was yeah, there are many sides to a person, like, and an artist is also allowed to have fun outside of their, yeah. And I was glad with your reaction.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
These are the little things we get to discover, and it's so awesome. Um, yeah, your visuals definitely like when I first when Paul threw your name out, and I started checking out your stuff. I was actually in Florence, Italy, outside sitting in a cafe, and I wasn't able to turn the audio up at the time, but I was watching the visuals, and the visuals really had me nailed in. And then I remember a week or so later, I checked in with your stuff again, and then I'm like, oh, there's audio to a lot of these. Oh, this is great. It's like a full meal deal. Uh, so all of these with audio stuff, is it always you? Is it always your doing the audio, or is it like your pieces where you might pick some stock stuff from somewhere else?
No, I usually make everything. Uh, there's there's one or two pieces where I sampled bits from different places, but I mostly make everything. Uh, Either with synthesizers, which I'm very simple at, like I use a garage band and some ambience, or or with my guitar and my voice. I use my voice a lot, and I distort it sometimes to make like ambience, and I pitch change change the pitch, and yeah, I edit it a lot
It's really
to
cool.
create.
That last piece we listened to, that's what when you talked about your voice layering, I really like that. I love things being layered over and over again, even if it's the
Yeah, I
exact
do that.
same note or whatever. I love that. It just, I don't know. There's something about it to me that I've always been really infatuated with. Like I'll take like somebody that does drum tracks for instance, and if somebody takes the exact same drum track but layers it, you know, 30, 40 times, it creates this depth and this echo
Yeah,
to I love it. Like it's a really really neat thing, and it's simple, really super simple.
And and to me, it's a it's a way of looking at things that I can't see. Like I can't see that. I can't see to be able to produce that or put that together like that. Sometimes I can be like, oh, I see what you did there, but there's no way I would ever think of like putting it together that way.
that's interesting. Yeah, but yeah, sometimes you layer things and you just shift them like a fragment of a second, and the same thing over itself with a little difference, it already creates like a an atmosphere to it. It's very interesting to do layering. I do it a lot on my works. There's a lot of layering of my voices or instruments too. Uh, what I do sometimes I'll get the guitar and improvise for like 5 minutes, but the video is 2 minutes long. But I would just take different bits of the improvisation and layer them on top of each other, and sometimes the magic happens right there. I don't even need to like adjust it. Just from putting different parts of the same improvisation that I was in the same vibe, a minute, it works already. So it's very nice.
Is a lot of your inspiration for your pieces, like you were saying how you had fun with that one trash piece, and that you find a lot of your other stuff is very serious. Is it always, are you always pushing a really big serious topic when you make your pieces, or do you find it's a mixture of having fun sometimes and just creating to create, or do you always try to have some kind of a reason or a story or a meaning to your pieces, if that makes sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I used to think of myself. I'm, yeah, you just activated a memory here. So like, let me tell this story because I always thought of myself as a sad person, or as a not exactly sad, but you know, like serious, and I used to romanticize sadness a lot. So I was always like kind of deep and wanted to be like a poet, and you know, I would have that uh, that image of myself, and I would tell my friends, yes, I am not a joyful person and stuff, but uh, then I had a birthday party, and like 150 people came to my apartment for my birthday, and this friend of mine was telling, you are not sad, you are awesome at throwing parties, and you are very fun and stuff. And I just realized that, and okay, there are different sides of a person that can live like in the same you know a same person doesn't have to be only one thing, you know but I I was going to parties and I was having fun all the time, but I still had that image, that I was uh, a low key, serious, sad, deep person. But yeah, this is part of me. But joy is also a part of me, and the sun and the day and the night. You know, like this, all these things are parts of me. But now getting to your question, yeah, it's very important for me that it has a meaning somehow. It has a that it comes from somewhere. It doesn't have to come from a place of uh, of sadness or from anything very serious or very important. But it will come from somewhere, even if it's a memory. It will like it's important that it's true, not only like that I am true in my experimenting. You know, there are artists who are truly fascinated by exploring the technique to the furthest, and that's amazing. I love that. But in my case, it has to come from a place of from something true from life itself. Yeah, I I would try to translate something into a work. Yeah, something that is actually bothering me at the moment, or something that I remembered, or yeah, something that is going through my mind. It's kind of a way to elaborate on something, but it doesn't have to be a very big thing. You know, sometimes it's that bird flying by. It's like it's a happy memory or of being just chilling by the beach and seeing a bird. You know, but it's true, and I think it translates into the piece somehow. Like when you see it, you feel like it comes from somewhere. Like that's I think that's what I'm trying to achieve.
Cool. I respect that. I like that you always go back to it has to be true, and that's definitely obviously something that's very very important to you. Has to be real. Has to be true. No fucking around.
No,
Um,
no, not fucking around.
You can't fuck around, man. That's when you find out.
that's
You don't
right.
want to fuck around. You'll find out.
You fuck around, you find out. That's what happens. That's right. It's got to be true. Um, a piece that I just stopped on here that's very interesting. It's very epic. I remember actually watching this piece um, a few months back. Is this the Roberto Baggio, the soccer one that you did?
Yeah,
Baggio. It's an epic piece.
yeah, it is epic because it's an epoch piece. You know, like it's about a time. It's about the '90s. I think it's about memories of watching TV in the '90s. Like that's what drives it. You know, it's all things that I saw on TV, but they are articulated in a certain way. Yeah. Did you watch it with sound so you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
There are subtitles. Yes.
Yes. There's subtitles too as well.
Yeah.
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 But yes, no, I did. It was I had the whole. I listened to the whole thing in full, and I was like, oh, this is epic. And the way that you presented it too is like is really cool as well. Because I mean, obviously, in this one, you're using that CRT television, right? I think
Yes.
in the process,
Yes.
right? But then you've also there's moments where like the whole screen is covered in color and glitchiness as well. So
Yeah. It's just this. It's just the TV seen from very close sometimes that creates. I
right.
didn't do much processing on
Oh,
these
okay.
images. It's just
Ah,
I just filmed from very close. But there are moments where some things cross the screen that is programming here.
right. Yeah,
But mostly it's the TV.
I see that now though. I've noticed the difference now. I do see those parts when you've been very very up close. Now I get it. Now I'm picked. I see that now. That's cool. Once
Yeah.
once again looking at things in a different way, and somebody would be like,
Yeah,
go ahead.
this is like memories from my childhood. Where I was in 1994. I was 7. Uh, so yeah, it's a very big deal for me, that memory specifically from that penalty from Roberto Baggio. Uh, yeah, it was a great moment, and yeah, and then later when I was like understanding what it all the context, not what the penalty meant, but when it happened and how and where and why was the World Cup being held in the United States. Not that it happened for a reason specifically, but what it meant, uh, what it meant to the world. So yeah, I was reflecting on all those things and how I, as a child back then, would like be overhearing the news and things about the Soviet Union that I never experienced, but I was hearing. And as a child, I didn't understand much, but I kept the memories of the images. So I tried to search for the images that I actually saw on the TV back then, and reflect on them from my perspective now. Yeah, it took a lot of work to write, uh, mostly not easy to, and even to find the right voice to narrate.
Mm.
The the style of saying, uh, the way of saying things, the rhythm and the even pitch, or you know my state of mind when I was narrating. It was difficult to find every detail. So yeah, I'm very proud of this one.
Well, even as far as when you talk about the work that went into it with that one too, like you look down in the description of this, and it shows where like you have listed all of the everything that you pulled, like your list of the video and stuff like that, and where it came from and all that, and it's like wow, man, like there's a it's like
Yeah, yeah,
it's a
yeah. It was
production.
important to me to mention that, because usually I'm glitching images. I'm making my own images, and this time I wanted to mention, because all those images are real images. They are. I mean, what are real images anyway? But they're images that are part of history as images.
Yes, I mean, especially with AI being so prevalent in at least in our lives right now. It's definitely good to like have cited those sources of like, oh yeah, like these are not AI images. These were actual like news broadcasts and things. Like this was live television.
Yes, most of those things were. I think the Michael Jackson concert was not on television, but I saw it from a videotape as a teenager, and it was crazy when I saw that the first time. Like the video is already 6 minutes long, and for NFT is like a feature film, right? But I wanted to show the entire moment from Michael Jackson because it's so impressive. Uh, when he first shows up in that stage, he's like still with the lights behind him, so you only see his silhouette, and he doesn't move for like 3 minutes, and people are going insane,
Right.
And then yeah, he doesn't move for 3 minutes, and then when when people are starting to settle down and understand, okay, we are watching, he just moves his head to the side, and people go crazy, and again, like it's like he makes one little movement, and it's like it's incredible. The whole tape is incredible. It's on YouTube. You just search for Michael Jackson live in Bucharest.
Yeah, that was
It's a 2 hour thing. It's incredible. Like how insane the people go because they're watching Michael Jackson, and they used to be in their country used to be socialist, and it's not anymore. And now Michael Jackson can come, like. It's incredible, and it's so full of meaning, and what that means for us now. And
I've watched that. I've watched that. Back in the day, I watched that concert numerous times. And yeah, you're right. I totally remember that beginning, man, where he just stands there and people are losing their shit and passing out and freaking out and crying.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a big
yeah,
deal to countries like that when that moving forward and being able to see something like that, something they probably all never thought they would see.
yeah,
I was just looking, just back to that piece we were talking about, the Roberto piece. What caught my eye was that one of the something that you had cited was from CBC with the Canadian Broadcasting, and it says McDonald's opens in hungry Moscow, but costs half a day's wages for lunch in 1990. Like that's nuts.
Yeah,
What a
yeah,
fuck.
it's crazy. Yeah, it was very famous that it went everywhere. That those images like, from
Yeah.
McDonald's. There are McDonald's in Moscow now, and people are going around the block because it worked in many ways that the capitalist world claimed its victory. Like see how people love McDonald's, see how people love Michael Jackson. Uh, they couldn't have that before, and now they can, because of capitalism, and it's amazing. So as a kid, I would totally accept that and believe that, and now I'm a bit more critical of that. Like, yeah, so yeah, the film kind of reflects on that, on the difference between the kid watching the TV and how I see these things now.
We were talking about some of the lengths of the pieces that you've created and stuff like that. And today you posted something up about that, about creating a 2 minute piece, but not really putting what it's about until the middle of it, and that you don't feel it's fit for this Web3 world. I think. Am I right with what I'm kind of saying? I'm trying to find the post that you put up.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of what I wrote is not the best idea for getting great sales. Huh?
Right.
Maybe, yeah, it's not the best way to to make big sales. Uh, but I'm happy that I'm doing these things, and the few people who like I say that in the post too. Few people who watch it and they tell me amazing things. So I feel like I'm doing uh, important work somehow. It work that matters, and it matters a lot to me. And when I get like responses like the ones I'm getting from people, uh, it's really worth it. It's
Yeah.
my main thing. I think is like opening up. Opening my heart and saying like this is in my heart right now. And then I think sometimes it helps people to see into their own hearts. Sometimes this is like my ideal. I'm not saying that I succeed at that every time, but sometimes I feel like it happens. That this is the magic for me. When I facilitate people to see something about themselves, or uh, to access a feeling or an idea in themselves that they weren't able to before. That's my ideal, I think.
I think with your post today, what I was reading that, my answer, my written automatically in my head, I was like, it's like, well, these people need to pay attention to the art. Like the artist created the art. If it caught your attention enough to click on it, give it the time, right? I mean, we've that's the kind of world we're in there now. Is the quick. It's if you don't recognize something in 15 seconds, then move on or something like that. Like we live in such a quick, fast world. Like everything has to be
Yeah,
so quick, right? Where that's
yeah,
what's
you're absolutely right. Yeah.
and
I
that's
mean,
what.
I wouldn't demand from everyone that they would stop for 2 minutes to watch my video, but I'm sure that yeah, I'm sure it would it would be nice if more people would watch a 2 minute video. I mean, like I said in the beginning, I edit feature films, so 2 minutes for me is very short. So I sometimes have a problem understanding why people consider a 2 minute piece to be long.
I
Two
think it's
minutes is
I,
it's nothing.
I
Two
think
minutes.
I think it's a difference of the platforms too,
Yeah,
though, right? So like if you post something on Twitter or Instagram, right, you're expecting it to be 15 seconds, 30 seconds. As
yeah,
where even on YouTube, you can be like, okay, it can be anywhere from 2 minutes to 2 hours. And
yeah.
then
That's true.
once you get into your Netflixes or your other like major streaming services, you're expecting your longer form. right? So
Yeah,
I think it really has to do with the perception of like where
that's
it's
true.
being
That's true.
displayed and where it's being broadcast, if you will.
But also
Yeah,
too,
you're right.
but in this space, I think we're still learning, and it's that people have to kind of be trained into the fact of that these are art pieces, and you need to not expect that it's only going to be 15 seconds or whatever, right? Like if you're cruising object, you got to be there to enjoy the piece. I mean, if the first few seconds caught you, I'm sure you'll be pleased if you continue to watch it.
Yeah, and even for still image, a drawing, you gotta be able to look at a drawing for more than 15 seconds to really experience it. You know,
Absolutely.
I mean, a painting, you know, yeah, anything.
Hmm.
I think it would do wonders to viewers, you know, if they would spend more time looking at even a still image.
Hmm.
Like you would see a lot more into it. Like my video is 2 minutes long. It's even I've spent more. I've spent an hour looking at a painting once in a museum. You know, it brought me to tears, and it was a wonderful experience. I'm not going to do that to every painting. You know, it has to really get me. Uh, but yeah, yeah, I feel like every work of art deserves like that attention span. You know, even if it's a still image or a GIF or a GIF. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's just that's the quickness thing, I think, because even that's very true. Like you mentioned, staring at a real painting in face to face or a real portrait or what have you. Like that's the thing. You go to an art museum, you don't just like cruise through it. Obviously, there's pieces that you're not going to be that engaged with, and other pieces you're going to spend more
sure,
time with,
sure,
right? But yeah, like that's people need to get back to that. I think that's the problem with the TikTok modern day culture. And to me, it all started when radio stations started calling for songs to be shorter from record
yeah.
companies, right? Like it happened.
Yeah,
That's where I
yeah, you got
feel,
a point. Yeah,
yeah, and I think that's where this. I think
radio
that's,
edit.
yep, and that's where the world started falling off was when that shit started happening. Because I mean, you look at right now, if you look at an album, like man, if there's a song that's over 3 minutes, like that's a big deal nowadays, right? Like that's where songs used to be 4 5 minute long songs. And now it's you got to have these tiny bite sizes. Why? Because we want to advertise a little bit more. We got to keep these people that only pay attention to 20-second TikToks. This is what they need, right? Like people got to slow down, take it in a little bit, and watch a 2 minute video. For God's sakes, like 2 minutes is nothing to me. Shit, watch Lord of the Rings, a director's cut, and tell me that 2 minutes is too much to look. Like shit.
Yeah,
Anyways, got a little bit of a rant there.
Like like I
yeah, it
said,
was nice.
director's cuts, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's nice circle. You know.
uh, I was gonna. Uh, I was gonna ask you what artists in the Web3 world and the NFT world inspire you, but I kind of know where that would go. Is there is there anybody in the traditional art world that inspires you?
In the traditional art world, you mean like plastic visual arts,
Yeah,
right?
like
I like,
painting. Yeah.
yeah, the painting that I spent 1 hour looking at was by Rothko, the abstract artist, right? Yeah. So it's a yeah. Rothko is a big inspiration. I love René Magritte. Uh, there's some. I'm not very good at remembering names, but let me try.
Me neither.
Uh, Jesus. I have a video where I explain why I'm making seascapes, and I mentioned some of them. Let me try to find that because it's in the description. There is a guy who paints seascapes that I really like, and I don't remember his name now. Sea Struck is the name of the painting.
That's all good. It's all good. We
Yeah.
don't. You don't have to have.
But there is a video artist too. Pipilotti Hist is one of my favorites. In film, I've mentioned Chris Marquet, and there is the BBC guy. I can't remember his name now. He made Trauma Zone recently about Russia from 85 to 99. Adam Curtis. Yeah, it's very good. He makes this kind of archive and commentary kind of work, like Roberto Baggio. Of course, his works are much longer. Adam Curtis. And my, I think my favorite of all is Andrei Tarkovsky. He's a Russian filmmaker. Made Stalker and Solaris, the original one. Andrei Rublev, Nostalgia. Yeah, it's from the 60s and 70s, 80s. He only made 7 feature films, but they're all very special for me. Andrei Tarkovsky would be my favorite. There's lots of references in music too that yeah.
I love that.
But yeah, those are.
It kind of brings me around to another question. I just mentioned music again. I mean, you played guitar, sang, wrote an album that we're all going to listen to after on Spotify for sure. Um, what
Nice.
what music do you like to listen to? Do you have like a genre that you like? What bands you listen to? What are you listening to these days? If we were to like pull up your playlist, what?
Yeah. Uh, I listen to Caetano Veloso and Gilberto Gil a lot. They're like very important Brazilian singer-songwriters. Uh, but from more international things, uh, because I've been enraged by current political situation of the world, like the war, I've been listening to Rage Against the Machine a lot. Uh, I heard the Andre 3000 album. That's bringing a lot of conversation. I really like that.
I heard about it, but I haven't had the chance to listen to it
Yeah, yeah, it's quite alright. Yeah, and it takes attention span. Takes some attention span. It's very long.
It's a lot of flute, right?
Yeah.
Is what I heard. Like it's like mostly flute.
It's instrumental, and the flute is the lead, but there are other instruments. Yes, the flute is like the lead. Yeah, but it's great. It's very trippy. It's nice to put on when you're doing something, like cleaning the house. And you can listen to that one. Yeah, it's very nice.
I'll definitely have to get into that. I always find it fascinating, like when, like when a band breaks up, but it's not because of like the traditional like we just hate each other reasons. Like
Yeah.
like Oasis, they just hate each other, and they're like I feel like I do everything. They both feel that way. Like it's not like that. It's like I just want to do other stuff. So Andre 3000 just wanted to go play flute. I guess he was playing flute like in the subways of Japan or something, like just basically panhandling for a couple years too. Obviously not needing the money, but just like doing it for fun.
I didn't know that. It's amazing. Yeah,
something like
Makes
that.
sense
Yeah.
to hear the album. Yeah.
Well, and like I say, the other one that comes to mind is I don't know if you know, but I'm sure Bits might know, is the band The Presidents of the United States of America. And
I haven't listened to it. I've heard about it because that name is something that will get your attention, but I've never listened to the songs.
Yeah, so they were like one of my favorite bands, growing up as a kid. That first album is like iconic if it's in your era, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they did 2 or 3 albums, maybe they did a third album, but then the lead singer was just like, I want to go write porn music and like move to like Australia or something, write porn music. It's just
Wow.
like okay, like no hard feelings to the rest of the band. They all went on to do other stuff. Like I think a lot of them went to be like movie composers and stuff too. So like they all went on to do their own things. But like the main guy's like, yeah, I want to write music for porn. Okay,
Who doesn't?
what?
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
just think it's
There's Willie. There's Willie
it's
bringing up.
fascinating
There's Willie bringing up porn again.
when bands kind of like split like that, especially ones that have notoriety and fame.
I just had to look it up because I knew the Andre 3000. I was like, it's so familiar. It's so familiar. And then as soon as I clicked on it, of course, the dude from Outcast, right? So,
Um,
yeah.
you said something earlier. I'll bring you back here a little bit. You said that when you first got into NFTs, or like when you first heard about NFTs, you didn't really like.
And professional artists with a career, with references, with working in here, and even people who are not who don't have a career, who don't have, but they are very good. They're very serious about what they do, and they are trying to start a career in here too. So yeah,
And
man, I
they're very much just about the art
yeah, yeah.
and not really any other aspects of it other than the verification of things on the blockchain and like the actual
Yeah, so
technology
that
behind it. But
surprised me very much, and it made me push myself to make better work too, because I had my work. I had made that short film that I talked about, the 20-minute film. It was my first film of my own, and I thought it had nothing to do with what I was going to make here, because I was going to just try to make some abstract images. But then I said, okay, these people are serious. They are. I better put something in, like more interesting together to show these people too. So and in the end, it became not not only a very intense laboratory for my work, but I've taken avenues that I wasn't expecting to take, and I'm a very different artist now from who I was before. Like now, most of my own work is here on Thesis. My own work. I still work a lot for other filmmakers and other artists on many different things. But my own work is most. This is my own work. This is my life's work now. You
so
know, I have.
do you credit that like experimentation and the creation of some of your abstract stuff as to that growth of your own work? Is that what you're
Yeah, yeah.
getting at?
Yes, because like I said, I got back into coding after I got here, for example, and a lot of what I do involves coding now. I mean,
Yeah.
when you experiment, just it gives you new ideas. It gives you, and you are like just sometimes I don't have nothing in my mind. Like that's truth that I was speaking about. Sometimes there's nothing, but I'm experimenting, and experimenting makes me remember something, makes me like think of something that is true. Like the practical side also helps reveal something. So when I see what other people are doing, and I want to also make something uh, nice, I want to like I see, oh, these people are serious, so I better be serious too. And I start, learning new things. It brings something up. Like most of like the best works I've made, I didn't expect to make them. It's not something that I already had in my mind. It comes from doing it. It comes from the everyday practice. Uh, it's like being
The like
a
like
monk or
10,000
something.
hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an everyday thing, like watering a tree, or like when you're a monk in a monastery, and every day you do something, and something arises from. I think being an artist is kind of like that.
Yeah, you got to put the work in. That's for sure.
I think one of the things that is going to plague the Web3 world and NFTs for a bit is definitely going to be how it all started out, like with the DOS punks and the board apes and the whole PFP projects and the pump and dump stuff. I think that's going to plague it for a little bit because that was the big first impression that everybody in the world got of
Yeah,
all of
and
this
it
stuff.
completely overshadows all the technology and just the pure art
Hmm.
side of it, right? Because you have essentially shit art.
Yeah.
That's the face of the world, you know, and that's my opinion. Some people enjoy it, and not that there aren't PFP collections that I don't enjoy the art of, but um, compared to everything else that's out there, like, yeah, it definitely put a bad taste in everyone's
Yeah.
mouth, at least in like the public eye,
Yeah.
the grand public eye.
And like Augers said, I mean, then when you open your eyes and go, holy shit, there's actually some real serious artists in here doing some amazing stuff. And then it changes. Now I'm watching 2 minute
Totally,
NFTs.
totally.
Just wanted to take a little moment here. I saw Paul came up here, but I wanted to just kind of reset the room and say hi to everybody that's kind of hanging out in here. We've been having a good conversation with Augurs NFT. Definitely recommend you follow them. Check out the artwork when you have some time. There's some amazing pieces. Wanted to say hi to everybody in the room that's hanging out with us. We've got Lily White down there, Fendo de la Creme. Love you guys for coming in as always. Fariz, Jay, Malicious Sheep, Sister Sage down there as well. Um, Erdin, Tom, I don't know how you say that one there. And then I believe Listener is one of the other
I'm
ones.
I'm gonna say moon,
Moon? Moon?
moon,
I just like his.
crescent moon,
I just wanted to say Listener.
waxing moon,
Waxing.
waning moon.
And then if you actually click on it, it's Nova Kai 666. Thank you for being
Nah,
here.
I'm gonna call them waning or waxing moon. I don't know the difference.
Sure.
Someone's yelling at me
Go
right
with it.
now because somebody definitely knows the difference.
But doesn't matter what anybody's name is in here. We appreciate each and every one of you popping in here tonight to hang out with us and listen to us here on the Night Train. Paul, how's it going? Did you have something you wanted to pop in and contribute to the chat tonight?
I just wanted to correct Willie because he was
Told you someone
besmirching the
yell at me.
presidents.
What? I was besmirking the presidents.
Yeah, the presidents of the United States of America.
Oh, how was I doing that?
You said that the lead singer left to go make porn music in Australia, but he actually makes children's music in Seattle.
No. I think it's both. Okay, maybe not Australia. Maybe I got the Australia part wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's both, man.
Okay,
How can
but
you
you
make
can look
both?
up Casper Baby Pants. That's the name of his performing recording for his
And
children's music.
Willie,
if I've been being fed in improper information for the past 20 years, then that's on me. I'm sorry about that.
I just didn't want you to go about life living that lie. You
I'm just,
know, I mean,
Well, I don't like to look stuff up though.
right. Well, I took my son when he was 2 to Casper Baby Pants concert at the local library because the guy's actually so cool. He tours only local libraries.
well, that's elite. That's super elite. You got to be in the PNW local libraries.
Okay, all right.
So, and I'm gonna just to back that up too, Willie. I don't think it's both that he does. There's no way in the world that it
I
could be
think it
both.
is. Then I think it because I
Oh,
do remember.
Jesus.
I do remember hearing.
Uh,
Hold on, hold on. Uh,
Also,
okay, you talk amongst yourselves.
Also, I was going to say, while we are at this point in time too, if there's anybody else that's been listening tonight that has some questions that they would love to ask Augurs about the art, the process, or anything else, you can definitely feel free to request to come up and ask a question if you like. 'Cause, and then I was going to say, Fendel's probably going to come up and say, yeah, man, he's homie is my neighbor. He plays my local library. I don't know. God. Oh, I can't believe that. There's no way that you're a porn star or a porn music producer and a kids music producer.
Why not?
Well,
Why not?
I think that in America, I think there would be more people to have something to say about that than anything. They don't want drag queens. They don't want drag queens reading stories to kids. Like I don't think that somebody's going to be able to make porn music and children's music. You'd accidentally bust out the wrong track at the local library, man.
I mean, what's the difference though, really?
Truly,
Like,
truly, I guess.
there's no there's no lyrics.
I guess you don't know porn music is porn music.
Like a Kardashian show.
Yeah.
There's no dialogue.
Full circle. I guess yeah. If you're not watching the video, I guess you don't know porn music is porn music, right? It's just bad '70s stuff. Oh my God.
Right?
Jesus. Fendel, what do you got happening for us here, man?
Oh man, we are just cracking up, man. Listening to no, that guy is all like, children's music these days.
Okay, these days, sure, all right. But I'm pretty sure there was an
I've
era
never
before
heard about
these days.
I've never I've never heard about the porn side. I think that you're making up that. I think that you've got the porn on your mind, Willie. Oh, yeah.
No, I'm looking it up.
What do you
Well,
look?
Enrique, really, really nice to have you on the program. Really nice to see your artwork. Just love your work, and I wanted to ask about your music. When you say Brazilian music, like, what do you mean by Brazilian music? Because when I think about Brazil, I love Brazilian music and really attracted to a lot of the jazz musicians and classical Brazilian music over the years. And when you say that, like, what are you actually referring to?
Thank you for what you said, and the question is really nice. There's a really strong tradition of singer-songwriters in Brazilian music. I would say a Bob Dylan kind of thing. Like this people like they make very strong lyrics and hard to translate because they are sophisticated in the poetry. So there are lots of singer-songwriters that I listen to a lot. It's Caetano Veloso, Gilberto Gil, the ones I already talked about. There's Fagner, Edinardo. Most of them are from the same region, which is the northeastern part of Brazil, where I am from too. And it's our whole emotional education. It comes from listening to these songs. Uh, there is of course the tradition of bossa nova, which I think is what you're referring to when you talk about the jazz musicians, and there is samba, which is the more joyful and carnival music, and yeah, I love all that. I listen to all that a lot. Uh, but yeah, the singer songwriter are my main line. What I really appreciate, because also as a I am that guy who goes to a party with the guitar and sings. Like some people hate that, I know, but I am that guy. So yeah, I love the singer songwriters.
You can come to my party any day with your guitar and sing, no problem.
I would
Well,
love
I
to
would
sing something now, but the baby is asleep. Otherwise, I would. Maybe I can try something low tone if you'd like.
Well, you could if you would
yeah,
like.
we'd love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I do it right now?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll feel bad though. Don't wake the baby up. Exciting.
Let me see if this is in tune. I think it's not perfect, but it's good enough. Remember. This is by Gilberto Gil. É sempre bom lembrar que copo vazio está cheio de ar. É sempre bom lembrar que o ar sombrio de rosto está cheio de ar vazio, vazio daquilo que no ar do copo ocupa um lugar. É sempre bom lembrar, guardar de cor, que o ar vazio de rosto sombrio está cheio de dor. É sempre bom lembrar que copo vazio está cheio de ar. Que o ar no copo ocupa um lugar do vinho. Que o vinho busca ocupar o lugar da dor. Que a dor ocupa a metade da verdade, a verdadeira natureza interior. Uma metade cheia, uma metade vazia. Uma metade tristeza, outra metade alegria. A magia da verdade inteira, todo poderoso amor. A magia da verdade inteira, todo poderoso amor. É sempre bom lembrar que copo vazio está cheio de ar.
Woo! Fuck yeah! I'm throwing my bra on the stage.
Thank you. My
That was
voice is not
beautiful.
great because I've been talking all this time. It's not the best warm up for singing, but yeah, that was it. That's by Gilberto Gil.
That was beautiful.
It's one of
Thank you.
my heroes.
Can
Thank
we
you.
get one more?
Oh,
I would have to find a song that I could sing now without being too loud. Let me think about it.
Yeah, let's not wake the baby.
let's not
Yeah,
wake the every
The
parent
toddler.
ev-
Toddler.
every parent knows.
yeah.
Ah, that was wonderful. I was just thinking as you were singing that. I was just thinking, Willie, we can almost do a live hits album almost, right? We could have Fendel singing the Canadian national anthem on there. Malicious has
Oh,
given us a few
if
tracks,
if
and
if I knew how to
yeah,
like layer tracks on top of each other, because I can't see that way. I mentioned earlier, obviously. Like we could just layer Fendel playing the wood blocks in the background too.
right. That's right. I forgot about that when Fendel
Yeah,
broke out the wood blocks.
and then you got. I mean, well, I'm gonna say malicious sheep, but we'd have to like we'd have to like dub it in a way to where it's not copyright is all.
I was gonna say too. I think I even have Mike Nash.
Actually, we could just use where she says that she's not singing it for money and it's not for copyright. We could just use that and
Right.
like
as a
remix that.
as a
That'd be
whole
great.
track. Yeah, totally. Oh, jeez.
It's got some original poetry in there too. We could get in there. Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely. We could definitely do some live hits.
Okay, there's a song in English. It's by Caetano Veloso, and he was exiled during the dictatorship in Brazil, and he went to England. And this song is called "London, London."
I was just gonna ask you to play Caetano Veloso. This is amazing.
Okay, so this is a song by he has a few songs in English, and this is one of my favorites. I'm wandering round and round, nowhere to go. I'm just lonely in London, and London is lovely so. I cross the streets without fear. Everybody keeps the way clear. I know, no one here to say hello. I know they keep the way clear, and I am lonely in London without fear. I'm wandering round and round here, nowhere to go. While my eyes go looking for flying saucers in the sky. Oh, Sunday, Monday, autumn pass by me, and people hurry on so peacefully. A group approaches a policeman. He seems so pleased to please them. It's good at least to live, and I agree. He seems so pleased at least, and it's so good to live in peace. And Sunday, Monday is, and I agree. While my eyes go looking for flying saucers in the sky, I choose no face to look at, choose no way. I just happen to be here, and it's okay. Green grass, blue eyes, gray skies, God bless. Silent pain and happiness. I came around to say yes, and I say, green grass, blue eyes, gray skies, God bless. Silent pain and happiness. I came around to say yes, and I say, why my eyes go looking for flying saucers in the sky.
That was absolutely amazing. The applause is crazy. Thank you.
Yeah, I love this song. It's
Hell yeah.
thank you, thank you.
Fendel, you got your hand up, man? You got your hand up?
Heck yeah, that was absolutely beautiful. So nice to hear that music. I love his music so much for many years. So don't listen to Willie. I'm playing alto saxophone on your record. Let's go.
Well, why not listen to me now?
Because you had me playing wood blocks, yo.
Oh no, I was talking about the stuff that we have from the show, just live stuff from the show. That's all I was saying.
Man, what's
Well,
Yeah, no.
that was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next time we can have a day train so I can sing a bit more happy, joyful, and intense things. But now I'm running out of a voice already.
Ooh, bits. What about a weekend edition, like a good morning train?
right? Good morning train. But then that we'd have to rely on somebody being awake to run that train.
I'd wake up for that.
Would you? Morning
No.
train?
Somebody,
Well, I mean, I'd
need
be
to
on
wake to
shrooms
run
really
it.
early that day, but
What was that, Willie?
Yeah, and I was with you. We'd need somebody to wake up to run it though.
Yeah.
It'd be more like a mid-afternoon train,
You know,
or an East Coast dinner train.
it's what's interesting about that is we've definitely in we've always realized it would be nice, but of course, that would be spreading thin. Um, but sorry, I had too many thoughts in my head. Fucking, I just smoked a joint, so that probably just messed me up. Anyways, what I was gonna say is, we've definitely had lately. It's definitely come up more and more and more and more in conversation, and people mentioning things that it would be beneficial to have, quote unquote, day train. But maybe have to start thinking about that and maybe looking into it. I don't know. Just so we can have bigger rock shows, apparently.
well, I mean, maybe just a special edition, like quarterly or something.
That's fair enough. That's a very good point too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Hi, Malicious. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm
That's
great.
good.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Another
Mm-hmm.
one of our fine audio artists that can sing in poetry.
I've just been basking in that beautiful song work. So, yes. Um, I did have a couple questions. So with your narration that you do on your videos, I noticed that it has a poetic quality to it. Do you also do poetry aside from lyrics?
I did when I was a teenager. I did poetry aside from videos, but uh, yeah, nowadays I only write for videos or songs. But it has that yeah, like I said about Baggio, there is always some work to find the rhythm and tone in which to speak. so it sounds good to. It sounds it matches, so it matches the what I'm trying to say, you know. So yeah, so everything in the work, like the images, the lyrics, and I'm saying lyrics, but the words uh, and the tone of my voice, they are kind of uh, crafted to reach a certain tone, and sometimes it's a poetic tone. Yes.
Lovely. I love that a lot. With all of the lovely skills that you have, are there any skills that you have hidden that you haven't spoken about yet? I would love to learn what other mediums you work in.
Uh, Thank you. Uh, I don't know. I wouldn't know. That's very flattering, and I think that there's the, the fact that I do many different things sometimes is a problem, you know, because I don't I don't do enough of each thing to like become like really really good at it. I'm the way I see it. I'm a little good at each thing, then I put them together in a nice way. So I think maybe my my lovely skill, like you said, is to put some different skills together and in in some kind of way that is interesting for me. Uh, yeah, but editing it maybe is the that's maybe what editing is. You know, to put things together in a way that makes sense. Uh, yeah, that's it. If you, I think you've been here from the beginning, so you know I'm a film editor for a
Mm-hmm.
living. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yes.
Yep. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Very nice questions and very flattering. Yes.
Never hurts to refresh those that came in later, just came into the room though. So
For sure.
um,
You know,
uh,
I
to insert a
was.
joke, we call that Walmart when you're kind of good at a lot of things, but not really great at any one thing. We call that Walmart in America.
Willie. Uh, but
Because I consider myself a Walmart of a lot of things too. Good at one thing, but
I mean,
kind of good at a lot of things.
when people find one thing to dedicate themselves fully to, it's beautiful. You know, like when they're certain, like I want to do this and I'm going to do it every day. It's amazing. It's a gift, but not
Mm-hmm.
everybody has that privilege. You know, we are all over the place.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, I could never. I do too many things. I can never choose just one thing.
But the one thing we know you can't do is code.
Not yet.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm researching. Get
That's the
ready.
attitude I love.
one
Not
day,
yet.
one day she's gonna go, yeah, bitches. Look what I coded.
I love it.
Look what I
I
wrote.
love it.
Right. Cool. I just wanted to, while we're going back with the questions and bantering back and forth, I did want to remind you, um, Augur, that you're definitely free to take off whenever you have to. You know, if the kid wakes up or you got to do anything, we're not kicking you away out off by any means. You can definitely stick around, but I just always like to remember to mention to our guests that, you know, if you got to take off and do things or go to sleep, you definitely don't feel obligated to stay on here with
I
us.
definitely need to go to sleep, not because I want to, but because the baby wakes up very, very early, and
Right.
it's very punishing when you've been up. But I'm having a great time. Maybe if someone else has a question, but if not, yes, I'm going to. Maybe a last question, if anybody has it.
For sure. Does anybody else have any questions, comments that you would like to lay down for our guest, Lily? I know you got the microphone as well. Maybe. Yeah. It's all good. It's been a great chat.
Yeah, I've had a great time. You guys are great and very funny, and I'm not as witty as you all, but yeah, I had a great time.
I, I I have a last question, I guess.
Okay,
Um,
good.
just I love my street art, and I know Sao Paulo is a big street art scene. Did you ever do any graffiti or street art or anything growing up, or were you involved in any of that culture? You weren't born in Sao Paulo. You didn't grow up in Sao
I didn't grow up here. Yeah, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I've worked on a documentary about it, so I know some about it. But that was my part in it. Yeah, but yeah,
Paulo. Oh,
it's everywhere and it's amazing. Yeah.
do you have a link handy for that you could share with us? I would love to watch that.
I'm gonna have to look for it. It's been a while. It's been like 10 years, but I'll try to
Okay.
find it and send you the
Yeah,
chat.
I would really appreciate that.
Yeah, nice.
Super
Final
fantastic.
question from me. What is your comfort food?
Uh, Lasagna. I'll go with lasagna. Yes.
That's a good choice.
That's a big one,
That's an interesting choice. I was
right?
thinking barbecue.
Well, barbecue is not comfort food, man.
No?
Of course
No,
not. It's
no,
a
you
lot of
gotta,
work.
yeah,
So
you
does
gotta dig in too.
so does a good lasagna. A good lasagna takes time to make.
All right, what's up with Brazilian pizza though? Come on, we're putting chocolate and all kinds of stuff in there. What's going on down there with the pizzas?
I mean,
That's not pizza at that point.
I agree, but yeah, in São Paulo, people are very serious about pizza, and they say that their pizza is better than Italian pizza and everything. There's a lot of Italians
In a
immigration here, so in
in
São
a
Paulo,
in
at
a more
least in São Paulo,
traditional
people are serious. Yeah,
way then, as far as like cheese and tomato sauce, not gold flakes and chocolate bombs.
yeah. But
Okay.
out in São Paulo, it's serious, but out of here is it's really a mess. Yeah, it anything can happen. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it.
The taboos of pizza, experimental.
There you go. I like that phrase.
Oh, pizza. I'm hungry now. Damn it, I'm hungry now. Well, it's been a great conversation. Then we'll certainly let you go and get your
Thank you.
sleep because we do know the babies get up early, and we're very happy that you're healthy and you were able to finally come on and join us, and we got to share in so many awesome stories from you and get a little background on some of the pieces that we've looked at. Appreciate it very, very much. The songs were absolutely above and beyond, and that was super amazing of you to whip those out for us. And it sounded very good. I was really impressed with. I'm always impressed with that when people do that in these spaces, and it actually sounds way better than you ever think it would. Honestly, like that, so it was really
That's
good.
nice. That's nice. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was great to play the songs too, and I think it gives a more complete idea of what I'm about. That yeah, and yeah, it was great. The questions were like I really enjoyed the conversation. Yeah, it was not only very funny, Uh, it's always good to have this chance to reflect, and there are things that came up that I didn't know about myself, because of the conversation. It's very nice. It was really good, and thank you for the attention to the work. Uh, yeah, like I said in that post, not everybody takes the time to watch the videos, even though they're just 2 minutes. But then I really appreciate those who do and those who take the time to yeah to dive into the work. Yeah, it was very. I had a great time. I didn't want to go to sleep, but I
Well,
have to. But I have to.
hopefully we were at least able to get the word out a little bit that at least they need to watch your stuff all the way through. Kind of like how we talk about Texadelic a lot, and you need to read his, you know, not just his, most, well, pretty much all artists' descriptions, but his in particular are another level too. So like, your videos are like that as well. But
They
yeah, it's very very fun, very great conversation. Very glad to have you.
Thank you.
Love to have you back
Really,
anytime.
yeah, I really appreciate. I'm gonna try to listen to the recording of what happened after I left. What?
make sure we're not talking shit.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, my man. Go get yourself some rest, and anytime you got something you want to share with us, or if you can use our platform to promote something you got coming up or whatever, feel free to come back and reach out to us, and we'll help you in any way we can with our meager little show here. Thank you.
Thank you, and I say the same. If you ever need anything, hit me up.
Sounds good.
See ya.
Good night.
Night.
And of course, for those of us that are listening here, we are going to stick around for a little bit and have a little chit chat because that's kind of what we do here. I can't just go to sleep right immediately after we have a guest on. My brain's buzzing. I definitely can't
Well,
go.
and I can't just leave this hanging. I found an article where, quote, documentaries about porn stars, shows about how the internet is helping people with sexual perversion connect with each other. That's when I was in hotel rooms on tour channel surfing, and I landed on a show with my music in it. It was always something pornographic, so that was interesting.
So finding your work being used on documentaries about pornographic material is far cry from producing music for pornographic material.
All right, so my knowledge drops off after they stop making albums, and I just hear it's doing a lot of porn stuff, and that's before I heard about the Casper Baby Band stuff. So I am
Got his
not.
wires crossed.
I will not admit to being wrong. I may be a little off, but I won't admit to being wrong on this one.
And if you read that full article, it would go on to talk about how he abandoned that style because the only interest was in using it for that material.
Yeah. No, I got it. No, you're right.
At least Willie didn't.
I just knew like it was in there somewhere, and I think I had heard that like really close to like when that article came out, before not when that article came out, but like around that time before he became Casper Baby Pants is all. Like I said, I'd never heard of this kid song version. So
now I just want to go see Casper Baby Pants.
Yeah, I mean, like I would have loved to have taken my kids when they were close to that age to a concert just to see him do anything live.
You got to set aside a day, go through the discography.
I don't know if I have that much time on my hands.
I mean, yeah, it is intended for toddlers.
Come on, you be rolling through the hood in the golf cart with the kid songs just a bumping.
Yeah, that sounds pornographic.
That's it.
In all the worst ways.
Just don't.
Paulie just popped in too.
Oh, Paul down there, yeah. Man, it's very unfortunate. It's one of those things, with our guest tonight, with Augurs tonight. It would have been nice to have video, in our space, like sitting here, so that we all could have been looking at the pieces as we were chatting about them and flipping through them. Because man, it was one of those artists where definitely the visual is a big part of what's going on, and the audio too. That was, a lot of his stuff has audio. But maybe one day.
Maybe one of these days we can do an on-cyber rendition.
Could be too. See, that's a whole different thing, though. That's a thing. It needs to be on the Twitter. It needs to be all-encompassing. We need a one-stop shop.
Well, and we're there's talk that the X is getting video and has been doing some video on other major players, I guess, so like it's there, it's in the works, but I don't know, I guess they don't know how to roll it out to everybody. I don't know.
Who knows?
But yeah, it's hard to move your fan base and following, people who know where to find you. It's hard to be like, okay, all of a sudden next week now we're going to be on Cyber. Like, all right, well, half the
Hmm.
people might go, but
No, you just
it's
like make a gallery and pin it up top, and then everybody chills in here, and then they can click through.
Oh, I got you. So this is like,
Hmm.
yeah,
Meeting place.
true, true, true. Still,
and I guess that does work better than trying to like, simulcast on YouTube.
yeah. Well, we pretty
I don't
much
know. I
we
can't. I personally, because I just do everything from my phone while we're on, so I can't even look at the YouTube and see if anyone's in there at all. So
yeah. Well, I mean, the whole reason we started doing the YouTube was because it was easy archiving, right? I mean,
Very smart.
yeah, it was. Yeah, it was the best. It was such a hassle for me. And then this way, you just do it, and oh look, it's available to everybody that wants to go to it. Um,
but yeah, but I mean, yeah, as a reminder to everyone that is in here right now, like you can follow along with what Bits is looking at,
yeah. Some
on the
some
YouTube.
sometimes I'm on the ball and it's great production, and sometimes it's just the same damn GIF that just sits up there the whole time. There's been a few times where I'm pretty thankful I don't look at porn on my computer because I definitely probably would have had a few tabs open or something. Shit.
Be getting dicey.
Yeah, we can't have none of that. Can't have none of that. I like it. I mean, I think the video, like, definitely for a lot of these artist spaces, it makes sense, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure even, Teztown, like, there's when they're doing a lot of their spaces, there would be a great advantage to having the video. I mean, if you're a static artist, I guess it's just still photos, or renders or what have you, then I guess it doesn't matter. But anything that has movement in it, because I mean that's one of my favorite things about these digital pieces is that I like the movement. People that put movement into their art, whether it's very very simple things like just a little bit of steam coming up off of a lake, like a misty morning, and the rest of the photo is static. That's fine, but I like having that little bit of movement in there. So that's where it's hard to share that when you're doing an audio space. Anyways,
Oh, but I mean, we have to remember like the reason that we landed on Twitter and why we're all on Twitter in the first place is, there really isn't, at least as far as I know, there really isn't any kind of community around NFTs, or art for that matter on YouTube, right?
yeah,
There is some on Instagram. There's a huge art community on Instagram, but there's no they they tried to allow NFTs on Instagram and try to like integrate them and be better than Twitter, but I think they were just late to the game and everyone was already on Twitter at that point because for a long time you couldn't advertise, you couldn't post anything about NFTs on Instagram. So there was this like disconnect there, and then and Twitter was just always like an open platform. So Twitter was your funnel. It was how you were able to talk to people outside.
mm.
And then thought you tried to get them into a Discord or something, but um for a big project. But
Sorry, it just sounded all
I
shady. Sounded all back alley there. You lure him in with the
well, I mean,
Twitter.
it kind of was, or
Yeah.
is still, I guess. It kind of is all back alley, like if you still kind of are
Well,
redheaded stepchild
uh,
to.
well, let's continue down the back alley and let's chat with Lily. What's going on, Lily? You got your hand up.
Yeah,
How
I was
how
just
are
gonna
you?
say, oh, good evening to everybody, first of all. And I was just gonna say, yeah, that just about what you exactly said about Discord. It's the perfect solution, but you can't get anybody to go over there. It's like luring them into the back alley for sure. Like nobody wants. You get a group of 10 people over there, you're doing some kind of wonderful thing. With the artist group anyway. They don't want to they don't want to go. I don't get it, but it's just such a burden somehow.
Well, I think the problem with Discord now is everyone was so like like spammed basically on Twitter and stuff like hey, come to my Discord, come to my Discord, come to my Discord. And all of a sudden you've got 200 Discords you're trying to follow. It's like it doesn't it doesn't feed well, because now you're trying to follow these different chats of all these different places, as to where like Twitter, you hit follow on somebody, even the algo fucking got really fucked real quick there for a while, and maybe it still is. I honestly haven't been on in like a month and a half, other than Spaces, so it might still be just super garbage. But at least it would all like feed into one feed, as where like I said, Discord, you got to check all these different feeds now. You got to and try to filter through the chat on 15, 20 Discords, and that's if you're only in 15 or 20 Discords. And you know, we all know, I don't think anyone in here is in less than 10 Discords. If you're still in Discord.
I've got 100.
And it's not just being on different Discords.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry, Malicious. I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, that's okay. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not like just like about being on different Discords. It's about the fact that when you're on one Discord, there's could be potentially so many different channels and different conversations going on at the same time, and you have to check all those different channels.
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
One
It's
Discord.
overwhelming, and that's just for one project.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also find too with Discord, I don't think it's very welcoming to people that aren't very tech savvy. Like Twitter's kind of an easy, and Instagram, like they're kind of easy things to get a hold of and a grasp on. Although I hate the layout of Instagram, but I think when people go into Discord, like for me, when I ventured into Discord for the first time, because I dealt with computers back in the day, pre-Windows and all that, it seemed more comfortable. Like it just seemed like a bunch of files on the side that you were clicking and going deeper and deeper into holes to find what you needed, right? So it was kind of natural. I felt it was good for me, but I can totally see how, to people that aren't totally into tech in some way, shape, or form, that Discords are pretty scary and confusing. But
I mean, they're really like old school AOL Instant Messenger kind of, but they're also like a very new school, like damn it, I had the word and it just slipped me. I can't think of the English word for it. I can think of it in Spanish. I can't think of the English
Go
word.
ahead, say it in Spanish, man.
Bulletin board. Bulletin board. Yeah. They're very.
What the hell is bulletin board in Spanish?
Like a bulletin board of like, okay, here's the news. Here's what you need to do for this project. Here's what's going on in this project, with a chat feature. But if that's dependent on who's running the Discord too, right? Like if there's too much going on, if you have 1,400 channels, then you're never going to find any of that. If you just have one or two, like, okay, this is what you absolutely need to know, and then here's the chat channel. Like, great, sure, fine. Then it's okay, because you can just keep up with it as a bulletin board for that specific project. But yeah, it's hard to bring people in and build a community around it again, or now, I guess. I think we've just all kind of been burnt out on it.
Yeah, definitely burnt out on it.
I'd actually really love to get Jay's thoughts on it if he wants to talk to us about this. But
I just lurk now. I just lurk in like probably 6 that I actually regularly check, 6 different servers on Discord. But on this topic, actually, my Twitter group chats have grown like 4 times what they were when I was actually active on Discord. So it kind of feels like everybody gave up on Discord and just started making group chats here.
Well, I think that's because you make them.
Go ahead, Bits.
I was going to say, I think that's because Paul makes them.
That might be. That's a great point, actually. But I was going to say, I think a lot of that has to do with like people not feeling like they have an open ability to be able to talk about what they want in a Discord chat, right? If you're in a Discord chat for a certain project, like, they don't want you to talk about other projects. So you don't feel like you can talk about other projects. So you don't have that conversation. So you go, oh, well, we're all like-minded people here in this project, but we want to talk about all the projects we're in. Let's go to Twitter and make a group chat where we can talk about everything instead of just this particular project. Instead of jumping around to 8 different Discords to talk about the 8 different projects, let's go to Twitter. We'll make a group chat. We can talk about all the 8 projects at once.
Yeah, but the only bad thing about the Twitter group chats is that once you let somebody in, you cannot get them out if they're being a bad actor. Like in Discord, as from a standpoint of running the show, you can boot somebody if they're not behaving.
Right, and they're limited to like 50-something people or something like that. Last I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I think 75 now, but I'm not sure.
I just know that there is a limitation to them. So yeah, it's you have trade-offs basically.
A big trade-off. Discord is way better for organizing communication.
Mm-hmm.
These group chats, like, everything gets buried. You can't talk about anything off topic, or everything that's actually pertinent to the chat just gets buried.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the Nightrain.
And then
sometimes.
you have 30 people in there trying to make a comment about how they thought one thing someone said was funny. So
that's kind of how I felt about Telegram, or feel about Telegram. Like I can't get on board with it because I feel the same way. Like it's so fast moving and there's no organization to it.
Mm-hmm.
At least from the phone app. I don't know. Paper Buddha says I need to be on the computer app, but I'm like, well, I don't have a computer that I can install software on. So I can only use it on my phone. They need a web browser version like Discord has, and I can be on it on my computer.
He's got a Tesla, but he can't run. Doesn't have a computer.
I haven't needed a computer, man. Not of my own. Not that I need to pay for.
I gotta call it a night.
Well, Paul, I suppose so, man. All tired and old guy and out. You're on the road. Where are you right now?
I'm in Indianapolis.
Oh,
I gotta get up early, go into work.
Say hi to Die with the Most Likes with it for us.
Oh, is he out here?
I think so. I think he's on, maybe not Indianapolis, but surrounding area somewhere. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm DMing him now.
Yeah, hit him up, man.
There you go. Party time. Well, thanks for popping in, Paul. Appreciate it.
You guys have a great night. Thanks for an amazing space. That was beautiful.
Thanks for hooking that guest up for us.
Yeah,
that was great. That was fun.
Paul, who is a ghost talent agency, making it happen. Hells yeah. Artists reaching out to artists, and sending them here to 2 non-artists. Right? We learn. Willie and I have been learning. I tell you, man, in the last couple of years.
I still contend that that's what makes us better interviewers to artists, is that we're not artists.
Yeah.
We ask dumb questions that like other people wouldn't ask. They would just assume people know.
Man. Yeah, and that brings me to a point. Like this evening, it happened a couple times with Augurs. I really dig it when because I don't feel. Most of the time, I don't feel like I should be hosting this space or talking to these people, but yes, there is that point of it that it's the honest not knowing and asking like the simple questions that, sometimes is the best conversation. But I love it when I come up with a simple question and it makes the artist stop for a second and go, shit, yeah, no, that's a really good question. That brings back a memory, and there's a story that comes flowing out that's just like, a big major deal. And like, I really dig that. Like that happened a couple times tonight. Really makes me feel good. Makes me feel like I'm making a difference, getting something done.
Well, I see it from the perspective of like if they're talking to their peers about their art, then like I said, their peers already know what they're doing, and they're more on like a higher level of how do I diagnose this problem. That's where we're like, how did you even get to that problem? And they're like, oh, I forgot. Oh, let me think about that. Uh, I don't know. You know, I feel it. I feel it brings a unique perspective.
I don't know who put up their hand first, but I'm going to go with Lily just because she's first in line on my screen. Or was it malicious?
Yeah. Lil.
Okay.
No, it was Lily first. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Well, I'm gonna pull a Lily White. If you don't know what that is, if you're new to the room, I'm gonna appear to be here, but I'm gonna be asleep. I can't hold my eyes open any longer. So I just wanted to say goodnight to y'all, and I'll fall asleep listening to the rest of this show. And thanks for having me.
yay. Always a pleasure to have you. It was good to you haven't visited us in a few spaces, and thank you very much for being here. And that's another thing that makes me happy is knowing that Lily White feels comfortable enough to go to sleep listening to us. We don't
Well,
have.
I sent you Mr. Nash for a couple of weeks, so I hope he filled in appropriately.
Oh,
Heck
I
yeah.
don't, I don't, I don't like the way that was worded. Now I feel like he was felt obligated to come hang out with us.
No, I don't think that. I don't mean to make it sound like that, but I told him I wasn't going to be here, and he said, "Oh, I better go see what they're doing then." So that was one good thing about me not being here, I guess.
I'd rather just have you both here.
Spread out the love. Wait a minute.
Day.
Wait a minute, man. Is Lily White and Mike Nash the same person? Whoa.
Have we
No,
ever
we're
seen them in
definitely
the same
not.
room?
No, I don't think they are. But that's funny to think about.
Right? I just loved I had to drop that there, blow that up. Mind blowing. I'm smoking a joint. I'm going to ask myself that question again in a few minutes, and we'll see where I go with it. Thank you, Lily, for being here, and we hope you have a good sleep. Now we have to talk. Oh, we should just have malicious talk now for the next 20 minutes, and that'll boof.
That'll put me to sleep. That's for sure.
That's not true.
In a good way.
That's not
In
true.
a good way.
I was going to say, but that's not true. You've stayed up. You've stayed up to hours of conversation with malicious. So, right, so it's good. Oh man, weather's been good up here in Canada. I thought about that. We haven't talked about the weather in this episode yet, so it's been fabulous. We've been very, very fortunate. We are way above seasonal, and it's just been good.
And we've just got our first winter storm.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Cold or just lots of snow?
Both. We were supposed to get 35 centimeters, but we got like 6. So we'll see what happens over the next 2 days with the lake effect snow.
Right. Yeah, we had a crazy snowfall early, like right what was it, second week of October, third week of October. And then it's ever since then it's disappeared, and we've been above seasonal. Today was one of the colder days. It was only 6 degrees, but that's still pretty damn good for, the end of November in Canada. I'd say, especially out here in the prairies. Hell yeah.
Yep.
But, I hope snow comes to the mountains. We need water out here like it's nobody's business. Well, everybody.
We need to build the water table.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yep. I mean, everybody on the West Coast out there, Willie's area knows what it's all about. But it's the desert.
Oh no, we're still trying to find places to put last year's water. God forbid we build dams, but again, don't want to get into California politics.
You don't need
What
dams
you
when you
need
hardly
is
have any
green
water.
space. You need something to absorb the water when it comes.
Willie lives in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have like retention ponds that try to rebuild the aquifer, but it doesn't work if you don't have the water to begin with.
Facts. I've got a lot of WX8B.
So,
I've got a lot of WX8BK ornaments printed out.
yeah, what are we doing with What are you
I,
doing with
I
those?
don't know. I wanted to do like
How are we gonna get them to the people?
that's what I was wondering. So I was gonna do the whole release an NFT, and then people can buy it and then pay the shipping, and I'd send it to them. But the issue that I have with that, not that I feel that there's gonna be like this big bot market on WX8BK ornaments, but if people purchase the NFT, and obviously if it's the wallets that I know and the people, the friends of the show that I know and friends around, it'll be easy to know. But it's like somebody could easily say, "Oh yeah, my wallet's this wallet," and send me an address, and they get the ornament instead of the person that should get it. Does it make sense? I didn't think it was, but who the hell would want to do that? It's not like it's gift cards or anything like that. It's fucking WX8BK ornaments. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I think you might be overthinking it a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe I'm not thinking it enough. I think you might be overthinking it a little bit.
Yeah, because I mean, who the hell
You know.
wants like? I mean, it's an ornament. If somebody literally said they didn't get one, I would resend another one, and it wouldn't matter, right? Like, so yeah. Anyways, but yeah,
Well, so you just say, hey, I mean, not. I don't know who who that I know of that is a constant listener, supporter of the show, or somebody that we know that we talk to a lot that would buy from a different wallet. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Like Paul Who's Ghost is going to buy from Paul Who's Ghost wallet, right?
yeah.
Malicious, you have a thought on that?
No, just gonna provide Tezos updates after.
Oh, your hands up like I thought you were.
To remind myself.
All right.
I thought you had a comment or something.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, that was where I went with that. So I might just still go with that plan. And if I'm gonna go with that plan, I'm gonna kick it into gear like within the next 48 hours, because, I mean, I'd like to, if I'm gonna mail these
Well,
things out, I would like them to be on people's trees for this year, hopefully, or something. But
can you
hmm.
can you standardize the shipping enough so that you're like, okay, if it's shipped within the U.S. and Canada, it's just the Tezos price, and just bump the Tezos price, saying that
Yes,
like basically the shipping's included.
yes, and that was actually going to be my. I was gonna figure that out. So what I was gonna do is I was gonna send Mike Nash one, and I was gonna send you one, and then that would give me, I feel, a good idea, right? Because if I send one to
Let me
Florida and I send one to you,
oops,
then
let
that
me check the room real quick. All you gotta do is send me the STP file.
yes, the STL file. Yeah.
Yeah, the STL file.
No, no,
I
no.
gotta do send me the STL file.
Yeah.
I'll save you some shipping.
Yeah.
Send me the STL file.
Right. I could do that in the
I
future,
mean,
man.
that's why we invented 3D printers, right?
Yep.
Is so you can just send somebody the STL file and be like, here, you can print it. Let me save you the shipping.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's the
Right?
way. That's
Isn't
the
that
way
why
it'll
we
be.
invented 3D printers?
It's the way, man. In the future, in the future, it'll be like you'll order something on Amazon, then it'll just go right to your printer and poof, right? That's how it's gonna go. That's how it's
Paulie Paulie's got his hand up. You got a question? You want an ornament? What's
Yo,
going on,
what's up,
buddy?
guys? Good morning.
Morning, buddy.
Good
So,
morning.
yeah, I just have my coffee. I just woke up like an hour ago, and I'm just popping, but kind of I feel like stupid because I just want to say to Mike Nash, and then I realized no, it's not Mike Nash. It's really because the PFP was the same from the last piece from the November, I guess. Yeah,
Yes.
that he sent me. So, oh, I
Yeah,
feel so
nobody.
stupid now.
I've been cycling through PFPs for a couple months now, and
Cool. I
when
just
Mike Nash sent me the horse trading one,
yeah,
I was like, well, no one's using it as a PFP. I'm gonna use it as a PFP.
Yeah, I
So
thought you were you was the you Mike Ness. So I just want to say thanks because he sent me the piece from the horse trading, and some of them I see Paul sent me to, and then I guess wait, yeah, most of most of it is Paul who sent me the horse trade piece. I just feel sorry because I don't I missed the chance to join the November because I have some yeah, lately I going out of town like too often. Yeah,
yeah,
so I
I got a lot of them as well, and I wasn't able to send one back. I'm still trying to see about maybe working up one and just send them back to those who sent me one.
Yeah, it's no
You know,
big.
just
It's
as
no
a
big deal.
just as a late thank you, I guess, a late
yeah
trade, but yeah, I wouldn't feel too obligated about it.
No, it's all good. It's in the fun. It's in the fun.
yeah
I mean, there's no. I mean, there's never an obligation to return a horse. If you don't have a horse, you don't have a horse. It's all good.
maybe one day I'm uh, redeem myself to send you all the horse of my version, just like before.
Yeah, yeah. That was a great one.
Yeah, thank you.
It was
But
kind of a. Yeah.
sadly, the horse was minted in Versum, and Versum like yeah, it's closed by November, I guess. Yeah,
Is it?
it's sad.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's I did know that. Yeah.
yeah, that's another sad story because Versum uh yeah closed per 20 November, or I guess I forgot. Yeah, my horse piece was minted in Versum because I have another collection in Versum, which is like a simple sketch of the trio, the ghost, the death, and the black cat, which is like the name was a parody from the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah, you know the cowboy movie.
okay.
Yeah,
Well, there we
and
go.
then
A little versum.
I have to move it. I wonder if I can mint the collection, especially from Versum collection via object. Can I mint another pieces to the collection that used to from Versum?
I don't know. Malicious? Do you know?
So do you mean a collection that you've minted before on Versum that you want to move to object? Is that what you mean?
Yes, yes.
So object indexes Versum tokens, so they're already
Mm-hmm.
on object. So you don't need to
Yes.
mint them again because that would be copy minting unless you burned the Versum ones. But you can delist the Versum ones and then relist them on object because Versum is closing, like they're shutting everything down.
Yes.
So if you take the listing off of Versum, you will hold all of those tokens in your wallet. Then you go over to object and you can list them on object, and then they'll be fine. You can still
I mean,
trade them properly.
to add more pieces in that exact collection, but
Then
via
no, yeah, you won't be able to do that then. Yeah,
damn it.
yeah, unfortunately, because it would be you would have to mint it on Versum, and they don't have their minter running anymore.
Yeah, damn it.
Yeah.
Or like you're saying, if you were trying to remint the same thing again, it would look like copy minting, right?
Yeah, you would be flagged. Yeah. So, in order to mint, in order for all of the pieces to be in the same collection, you would have to burn all of the Versum ones and then remint everything on Object or on Taya. But yeah, it's a big pain in the ass if you've sold pieces from it already, because then you have to contact everyone who owns a piece, especially like a higher edition, in order to get them to burn them as well, right? So, unfortunately, I wish I had better news for you, but you won't be able to have them in the same collection.
Oof. Yeah. Such
Well,
a lot of work to do if we want to do that. Yeah.
that is a lot of work.
Mm.
Um, Malicious, did you say you had some other Tezos news you wanted to chat about?
Sure. I've got lots.
Oh,
um, so the Tezos community, I've pinned it. I don't see it up there. I don't know if it pinned properly or not. You can also put it in the chat.
I
So
see
it,
it. The Tesla TTT is thrilled to announce the
TTC.
launch of that one.
Yeah, and we've got a Tezos community calendar, everyone. So you can submit events that you want added to the calendar, which it could include this very show.
Oh,
Ooh.
now we're talking.
Yeah. And you, from what I understand, you can also go to this, like when you're on the site, you can add items from the calendar to your own personal calendar. So.
Oh, way to bring it all the way back to the beginning, talking about calendars.
Totally.
And how to use them.
Willie's going to go on a rant.
How amazing if you just put things on a calendar.
Willie's going to go on a
use
rant.
the TPC for the WX8BK agenda. That would be great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So now you can post your weekly on there, and
do we have to
get
post it every week, or can we post it as a recurring?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think you do have to post it every week. But they're because they just launched today, so I'm sure they'll come up with ways to make it a bit more efficient for recurring stuff. But so far as I know right now, it's individual.
It's repeating. I have a repeating.
Oh, good.
Repeats. I'm trying to fill it out now.
Oh, yeah, are there? Willie's on it. Willie's our tech department. Get up there, Willie. That's cool.
So that's some exciting news.
It is.
I've had a big smile on my face all day because now I don't have to surf through 6 apps to figure out what I'm doing in the morning.
Right.
True.
And then with Taya, the DAO claim period's done. So we're now in the beta phase of our proposal and poll system. So you can head to Taya and do some testing with the polls. If you hold DAO tokens, you can vote. So currently the tester poll for the tester poll is your favorite animal. And then I can't remember what the proposal one is right now, but they're just to test how the UI functions and how well, like how easy it is for people. If there needs to be more clarity, we're also going to be testing different types of voting styles. So if it's going to be quadratic voting or straight voting based on the number of tokens that you have, or other type of mechanisms, we're practicing in advance of the full launch. So we have a little bit of a beta period. So if you would like to participate, I highly recommend. I believe you can also create polls and proposals now as like dummy ones. They're
Voting on our favorite animal is practice, not bifurcating the community. Because cat versus dog is always a huge issue.
Oh, there's like 10 options. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's that. So if you want to participate in that, we welcome that. If you have feedback, drop it in the Discord. Very exciting times. Then we've also got, there's a space tomorrow, which I'm going to be attending. The So Trilitech, which is more or less an arm of the Tezos Foundation, Trilitech and Refraction DAO are hosting a series of curations from people in the community and organizations within the community. Teo was invited for that, so we did a decentralized curation where we used our curatorial guidelines to identify, I believe we had 11 curators who selected 39 works and then dwindled those down to 5, which will be included in the show. And then we will also have, in the coming weeks, we'll have a full show with more pieces, which will be exciting. So that, I believe, is the launch event tomorrow with Tezos account and Refraction DAO. There will also be a this is for in Miami. I should have mentioned that earlier, but this is for our Basel Art Week at Nautilus in Miami. There will be an art show on there, which includes all of these curated pieces. So an in real life event if anybody is in the area. There will be virtual talks, there will be Twitter spaces, there will be on cyber galleries, there will be all of the things. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, we'll find a way to get you there to see the stuff. So that is my Tezos update.
That was a great update.
Mm-hmm.
The calendar is exciting. Yeah, it is.
It's always so much.
I know. It's definitely good to know that somebody's paying attention in this world.
Right?
Beginning of this.
I've got to keep track of all of this stuff. So
I love having Malicious around, even just as our updater these days.
Definitely.
Something else I noticed talking about updates is I noticed the beta for new object version.
Oh yes, yeah.
Was out when I logged on today for the first time in like a month.
Yeah, they've got a new UI design, which is really cool. They've got some new features, which I want to play with.
Sorry, I didn't mean to, like promote object right behind the tab.
Oh, go for it. We're siblings.
I have no affiliations formally to either, so.
Well, when we succeed, they succeed, and when they succeed, we succeed. That's how
there
it goes.
You go.
Yeah, it's all Tezos.
It's all Tezos.
Right.
The more the merrier.
That was Augurs was big on the Tezos. He was like, Tezos is the best. Sure, that's what he said. Pretty much. Can't argue with that.
I absolutely fell in love with that work. I'm like, I've been scrolling.
Yeah, his stuff is amazing. Like I had said, like when I first looked at it when I was in Florence, just like sitting in a cafe having a beer, and I couldn't listen to the audio, but I started flipping through some of the stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, oh yeah, and then I messaged back Paul, who is a ghost, and I'm like, yep, we got to have this guy on 100%. And then when a couple weeks later, when I actually got to sit there and listen to the audio and watch it on a bigger screen, oh, it was just like, yeah, this is awesome. For sure. It was very nice. I like
so many secret talents.
That's where like the longer pieces, but you know, it's like he said, you get rewarded with them if you watch the pieces. It's well worth it to spend the minute and 30 seconds, the 2 minutes that some of the pieces are, for sure.
Well, and even talking about longer pieces, we were talking earlier about like how mesmerizing it is to look at a fire, and it's true. There are very few things that are more more mesmerizing. Few things that are more mesmerizing than just staring at a fire. And one of the things to me is like a quality GIF that just loops perfectly. And so you can talk about longer pieces. We're talking about that soccer piece about like all the news clips and stuff. And I think I watched that thing 3 times while we were talking about it before I realized it was looping. Like that's you know how good the editing is. I just kept watching and watching. Went, I think I've seen this before.
Right, right. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's a really good quality in a good loop, right? Like you said, yeah, it's definitely a good quality in a loop is when you don't even realize that you're
yeah.
continuing to watch
When
it.
you have no idea it loops, like
Yeah.
you just it's just like staring at a fire.
Which is kind of interesting that you say that because right now I have our Nightrain logo, our WX8BK logo with the flames on it, going on YouTube right now, and just it's a looping, burning fire. It's just
There you
yeah, totally. And I'm staring at it, listening to you.
go.
Loop, Willie's looping, Willie's looping. Totally.
It's possible.
Yeah, this has been a good show. I was really good at the beginning. I don't know where the hell it was one of those beginnings where I was like, oh my god, like Jesus Christ, I need to get on. I need to jump on the night train here and be a host and get this shit going. And I was, it was funny actually. I can't wait to listen back to it tomorrow and go, Jesus Christ, what a bunch of hacks.
Right.
But then, as per usual, you get that good feeling where you just start sitting down and having the conversation, and get the jitters over with, and it was awesome. It was good to speak with Augurs tonight. How the not even gonna try it. I mean, everybody in here could try, but they're not gonna get his name right if they say it. So we'll have to put that into it.
Oh yeah. No.
Well, it doesn't even look like that. When he said what his name was, I'm looking at the spelling of it on the screen, and I'm like, no, that's not your name. I'm looking at it right now. That's not your
Well,
fucking.
I'm like, okay, yeah, I know. Like X is CH in a lot of other countries and stuff. But the first part of his name, I was like, no, I never got that.
Yeah, wild.
There's there's things I don't know to be able to pronounce that.
Right.
I wish I had given it a try, because usually I can pick it up.
Yeah.
Because I'm echolalia, right?
Well, you can listen back to the beginning. Right with the 20 something minute mark was when he said, maybe you can come back next week. Mind you, you could come back next week and blurt out a name. We'd be like, fuck yeah, it sounds just like it. It is very interesting with the languages, though, because, like, for me, as I was saying when I was reading Augurs, and I automatically went to Augur, and I realized it was probably from the Italian pronunciation. But, like, if it's French, Spanish, Italian, like any of those romantic languages or whatever, like I kind of get a grasp on it. But then, yeah, as soon as you start going into like Portuguese and stuff, like, yeah, no, it becomes a totally different beast. How pronunciation works.
Well, that and English.
Yeah. Well, English is a big bag of shit for a lot of people to learn because we're terrible. It's terrible language. Terrible language. I can't speak any other language, but I do know that it's a lot. Language structures in a lot of other languages makes more sense than English does, like tenfold. Tenfold.
Yeah, because English is a slang language. It's
right.
mostly built of fragments of other languages. And so the grammar really doesn't make all that much sense.
No.
Well, then you get into like, Irish, and it's super slang, or like actual what I can't remember the term for it, but like English, like proper London English slang. Hackney, like Hackney. Oh my God, what the fuck is going on there? Some weird rhyming language. All right.
Oh, Cockney rhyming
I'm
slang.
out. Yeah, Cockney.
Yeah. That was, and that's the thing with English too, is a lot of our slang is dependent on the outsiders of the group at the time. So could be immigrant communities or queer communities or communities of color. And then often those communities, in order to survive through time, have also done things like petty theft. So like you'd be running into the cops and you'd want to have like something to avoid detection, either for your sexuality or through, survival. And so
Drug
all of
dealing, things like that.
those yeah, all of those slang words come from that. Like there's a complete language from England, specific to the queer community, that has mostly died out, but it has influenced a lot of the phrasing that we use still in the queer community, but it has evolved. But yeah, it's very interesting. I like language. It's very fluid.
Is some of it so harmonic. I, as you were just laying out that
I like
explanation,
accents. I don't think I like language though.
right?
I like accents though.
As Malicious was laying that out there, I was just looking for a closing track for the show tonight, and then I came across a piece that Fendel and O'Ronan dropped here that apparently hasn't been like dropped, and I was playing it as Malicious was laying out that explanation there, and it just went so it was so weird how well it just went together all of a sudden. It was like it had this beautiful background soundtrack to this wonderful lesson that we were all just getting there. Wow. What is this, Fendel?
I mean, Fendel's throwing up hearts.
Yeah.
Like he knows exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
well,
So.
of course he did. Obviously, he's freaking minted it. What do you got here, Fendel? You guys built a nice piece here.
Hey, thank you so much. I'm really, really proud of this new piece. It's kind of like Val was asking me to make a piece that was kind of similar to Ghost in the Shell. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Oh my, yes.
That animation. And it was really challenging for me to try to make a piece with voices and strings and space and this was a real challenge for me, this new piece that I just minted. I haven't really swapped it yet, but I worked really hard on this piece, and I like those challenges actually. Like, I think it's kind of really cool when artists tell me that they have, such and such in mind, or they have like interesting directions that they'd like me to try or go, because it gives me some good ideas. It gives me something that I can like listen to and inspiration. And so yeah, we put together this piece, and my goodness, I'm so excited about it. Like, I really feel like Val, like, he is just doing some really interesting work these days, and I think that his work has really evolved even recently, and he's so supportive and really is so wonderful, like, about sharing what he does and the tools that he uses and stuff. But anyway, I hope you enjoy it, and yeah, that's what's up.
Cool. No, I was totally clicking. I was like, oh, I'm gonna play a Fendel piece to close out, and then I clicked on it. I'm like, oh, what's this? I didn't see this. It is, yeah. And I'm gonna be a little bit honest here that while you were talking and telling us about it, I played it again, and I had it quietly playing in the background as you were speaking, and I was like, yeah, man, this vibe works. I like it. It's wonderful. All right.
I think we've talked about having WWO Ronan on, right? But they're way over in Spain or something like that. Is that right?
He's in Zhukovsky, which is, a suburb of Moscow, and I'm not sure that he's real comfortable. I'm sure that his English is just fine. But I've actually not ever talked with him in all of the, like we've been, I think we've minted nearly 30 collaborations together at this point on Tezos.
That's crazy.
And we've never actually talked on Twitter Spaces or anything, or in Discord or anything like that. I know that he's pretty uncomfortable with his English, although like we go back and forth, texting on, Twitter, just DMs, but
yeah, it's easier to translate if it's not your native language through text, though.
Of course.
You throw it into Google Translator, but no, I think we have, me and you and Bits have talked about that, about having him on, but being so far away, but
yeah, I think even he would be like almost 12 hours directly from, like he would be like it's 10:30 p.m. I think he'd be 10:30 a.m.
That's
almost actually usually better, but
fair enough.
Yeah, that almost would be better. I mean, I would love to. I mean, I would so love to talk to that guy, because we've worked together so much in, back since Hicket Nunk, since, spring of 2021. I'm the one who reached out to him at first, and he sent me some pieces and which I minted early in my collection. It's funny that you were saying about like looking at pieces on a big screen, because I just went through a bunch of my pieces and downloaded all of the images and put them on a thumb drive and stuck them on. I have just like this extra flat screen TV. It's just kind of a cheap flat screen that somebody gave me, and I put them on this flat screen, and like the images are just so cool. Like, I mean, it's way better to view these images on a large screen and just kind of off of the computer,
I got a question for you, Fendel. Were you able to pull down any of the moving images, any of the GIFs or anything like that? Or did you just pull the static?
I just pulled the static ones. I mean, I should really try to figure out if I could, get the GIF images or
I mean, if only there was somebody around this community that could program a very simple website that just can display those by just plugging in your wallet address, like I've said 1,000 times.
I 100% agree with you. Like, there should be a better way to view your collection, just, like as it kind of scrolls through your NFTs, either what you've created or like what's in your collection, and not just these kind of static images.
We'll give that to Malicious as her coding learning assignment, to basically take the Taya platform and strip it down to just a single image that cycles through your wallet.
Well, Mal, maybe you have some ideas about that.
I don't know if you've ever heard of boutique.art, BUTIQ.art. It's by Zat, and I can't remember who else was working on it right now because my brain won't let me. But Zat is one of the devs over at Taya, who also created Tez Talk, and which is our indexer. So you can build with, it's fairly simple. It's using like basic coding. I've made one for myself where you can add in artworks. You can choose from pre-built templates, and then you can adjust what's in those templates. So you can have your created collection or your collected pieces. You can make multiple pages that link into one another. you can have links that go off of that site, so you can have like your Twitter or your whatever.
Okay,
right?
see. I think I have looked into this, and I think you're misunderstanding what I specifically am looking for,
Oh, what are you looking
which
for? Go for it.
which is basically just a single image at a time. Like, okay, like, just like this is Tesla's address at the top. You drop it in,
It's like casting
and
your
it just goes through.
casting your photo album.
Yeah, just single image at a time, but it's able to, once you get to an MP3 or a GIF, it will play the GIF for a set amount of time,
The
and
only
then
other
cycle
thing I
and then
can,
just cycle through the next one.
But
I
you're
feel
also
like
talking about
the
just
only other thing I can think of that might be like that would be the DIY frame by Andre, but I don't know whereabouts in that project development that is currently.
Well,
but it's supposed to make any sort of
and
screen into a viewable slideshow type situation, right?
and that's kind of where the idea comes from, right? Is like NFT frames, but they're all geared around Ethereum. And it's like, okay, but like if I scroll, like I can almost scroll through Taya as like almost single pieces. Can we just get rid of the other pieces and just let it be there? Like get rid of the headers and footers and just, like, you know what I mean? If I feel like it'd be easier to like strip a website down than to build one up at this point.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's not that
it is
hard.
It is open source. It is open source, so maybe that will be a project I'll work on to learn.
Okay, what was the other one you just said? On something by Andre?
Yeah, it's DIY frame. Andre FUCHS.
I should
on Twitter with a Fox PFP.
I should go back to chat. I should get working on ChatGPT again. I never actually tried out that script that I did with them.
I did.
Did you?
I did. It didn't work. Yeah. It wasn't there.
I gotta try.
It was looking for like repositories and stuff that didn't exist, and
Well, that's the thing is I need to try it out so I can go back into ChatGPT and see if I can muck around with it and see if I get it to work. Anyways, it's definitely something we all want. Because it'd be nice just to pop in your wallet and just have your shit show up on a screen would be great.
Yeah, this might be a lot more along the line. This DIY frame.
Oh, Willie,
I'll have to dig into this a little deeper.
Yeah. Well,
I just feel like it should be a very simple concept, and I've brought it up to several artists who are also like full stack developers or back end developers, and I'm like, it's the idea's out there now. Like, I'm not asking anything for it other than I want it to be out there so I can use it.
Somebody make it for me.
Right?
Like, monetize it however you want. Just don't charge me for it. Charge the rest of the world. Not even asking for royalties. Just want to use it for free.
I did pin those other two things that I mentioned. The Tezos Twitter space tomorrow, and then the something else. My brain is it's too late for me to remember, but I pinned it.
We see that. There. Yep, it's up there.
So, the Taya
token.
DAO beta.
Yeah. The token claim period now closed. Beautiful. Well, kids, I think on that note, I think this is a good point in the evening for us to bring the train back to the station and shut her down. I think it's about that time. Bits has got to get up a little early tomorrow because I got to get off of work early, so I got to go in early. I probably won't, and I'll just eat the hour or two, but I think this is where we'll call it a night tonight. Anybody got any closing words before we shut down the space? Say anything? I know Lily's not.
I just seen it. A couple new people popped in, so just if you want to check out the show on YouTube, full recording will be up there. So, and thanks everybody for hanging out and joining me tonight.
I have one word, and that is Sonder.
Sonder.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's the name of a restaurant here in town. But I don't know what it means. Guess I have to look it up.
Sonder.
It means the sudden and inescapable realization that every stranger that you walk by on the street has a life as complex and expansive as your own.
Interesting. And that's going to change how I walk down the street now.
That's a hell of a way to end the show.
Right? Fendel, what do you got, man?
I just wanted to say thank you for such a wonderful space tonight. Always a pleasure, and I just love all you guys so much. Y'all have a great night.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you very much. You've stuck around and hung out with us ever since you got on our space as a guest, and we appreciate you very much. Appreciate everybody in here. It was a great space. Our guest tonight was AugursNFT. As Willie said earlier, you can go onto YouTube and you can check out the recording. Of course, the recording will be available on Twitter for the next little while. I don't know if they have a time limit on them anymore. It used to be 30 days or something, but you can also hit us up on the old YouTube and check out some old spaces from the past year and a half. We are here every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Next week, we do not have a guest artist, but we will be here in some capacity, some way, some shape, or some form. We'll have a bit of a chat. Come on and hang out with us and see what the heck happens. Thank you very much to everybody who is in here tonight, who is in here from the beginning, who popped in here right here at the end. Appreciate y'all taking the time out of your lives to come in and hang out with us. It means the world to us. Spread the word. If you got artists that you think might like to come onto our show and come and talk about their work, please feel free to reach out in the WX8BK DMs or myself, Bits, or Willie, and we'll check them out and maybe have them on. Definitely always looking for new people to be rolling up in our space. We'll have 5,000 Aliens on December 12th. That'll be our next guest artist. So we hope to see you here. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Oh shit, Fendel. I was gonna play this. Is it okay if I play this new piece? I meant to ask you.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. I always appreciate it.
Cool. No problem then. Well, we're gonna close out with that.
When is it? When are you gonna swap it?
I'm thinking I'm gonna swap it tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah.
You hear it here first then.
All right.
You got it. I'm gonna swap it in the morning. Let's make it. We'll go 7 a.m. Pacific.
Sounds good to me. 8 a.m. Mountain Time. I've got it.
That's right.
10 Eastern.
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Love you very much. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We'll see you next week, 9 p.m. Eastern on the Night Train.